there are a lot of horror stories about people winning lotteries. You guys haven't heard, right? There's a lot of people that win the lottery and go bankrupt, and they regret winning the lottery, right?
I think the majority of people that win the lottery don't know how money works.
That's how they all go broke. It's the same theory.
That's so true.
People go too crazy when they see money, you know?
A lot of people that win the lottery, like, they really don't know what to do with the money. So I take it back. I am actually stupid, and I have no idea how money and investment works.
That's why
my lottery ticket right now. I'm gonna win the lottery, dude. I don't know how investments work. I don't know shit. There's a trend, guys. Aloha, everybody from the YouTube channel. Welcome back. As you can see, we got 6 members today. Well, I guess 5 members plus me for the podcast. I've been enjoying this. Having more people on the podcast so we can keep the conversations flowing and the dynamics going every single second, which is great. We got Ken Baller, we got Lucky, we got Once Love, Thompson, and Waika's back. Welcome, guys, and hope you guys have been doing well. Hello, hello. So there are some very interesting things, going on this week. So let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and start off with topic number 1. But before that, Thompson, you have anything to say?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Let me hear it. What's up? What's up?
Last podcast, you know how Patrick loves to pontificate about his account and stuff.
Sure.
And dude, I just want everybody to know that the podcast is pretty unscripted, genuine, and it's just people just. A lot of these players wear their heart on their sleeves. And,
you missed line number 5 from the script I sent you. Can you repeat that, please?
Oh yeah, we don't we just talk.
No, you send us a script, but we don't read it. That's the thing. Brian tries to get us to script all this information, but we're not smart enough for scripting.
And everyone's just here, podcast, having fun. It's kind of like a podcast for everyone to complain. So we're just us being ourselves.
Yeah.
So if you really think Patrick complains too much, then
I will say this. So I've been saying it on my stream and whatnot. Like Thompson said, this is totally unscripted, right? I bring people on here to speak their mind. So I'd like to say, it's the internet. Internet has a lot of trolls, right? Whether it's from Reddit or comment section, there'll always be haters, right? There'll always be trolls and whatnot. So it's understandable, right? But at the end of the day, I want to bring people on here to speak their mind, and whether you agree with it or not, I want people here to speak their mind, and that's how discussions can be made, and that's how things can be fixed and improved. So
appreciate it, IslandGrown.
Yeah. So I've been talking about a lot. So don't feel discouraged if anybody here, Ken or Lucky or Tyler, if you get attacked by comment section, right? Feel it as a praise, dude. Be like, hell yeah. I love reading that shit.
Imagine doing a podcast where you don't get attacked by the comment section. That's when you know you fucked up.
Yeah.
If the comment section isn't wow, I can't believe he said that, then you literally didn't do the podcast.
My very next stream, bro, I had 1 million people in there just nonstop complaining.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Patrick didn't read the comment, but people will go on.
It doesn't bother me. It takes a lot to hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? It takes a lot more than anybody could do online to hurt my feelings anyway. But yeah, it was just funny because it was everybody. It was crazy.
Random people that come to your stream aren't gonna hurt your feelings, but if one of you guys were man, fuck that Once Love guy, I'd be a little hurt. Wait, a random person in chat really doesn't bother me.
Wait, who told him, guys?
I fucking knew it. Exposed on the podcast. I'm calling.
Just don't read the comments.
It's over. I'm calling Keemstar. We're canceling IslandGrown.
Reading the comments has become a weekly thing now. Just sitting there sitting back and reading it, just having a good laugh. It's actually hilarious reading.
I love the comment section. The more people meme and flame,
there's a lot of mob mentality, right? One person says Patrick's annoying, and then 5 people say Patrick's annoying. It's
no. You misunderstand. When one person says somebody is annoying or they flame somebody, everybody else that thought that but never took the time to type it comes in. That's what happens. That's what actually happens. This is normal. It's normal.
Yeah, mob mentality, bro.
Yeah. So it is.
Yeah, but today, Patrick didn't even plan on streaming, and he just did it last minute. Same.
Yeah, this podcast is definitely unscripted for me because I wasn't here for the scripting. So
that should be fun because we have some topics today, in particular the packs, obviously, because there's new packs. So we'll be talking about that. So let's dive into topic number 1 here. Topic number 1 for the day is exactly what I just said. New packs. I woke up today and there's some new packs here. Let's talk about it. There's some things that I personally want to discuss about these packs too. But let's talk about the value of them because that's something that a lot of people are going to ask and constantly ask. So what do you guys think about the value of them, and are you buying the packs? Even though I kind of know the answers, but go ahead, take it away.
Did you buy them this morning, Thompson?
Huh?
Did you buy them this morning?
It didn't even show up on my screen. It just disappeared. So I'm gonna work on that. Like,
Townsend got some pretty good nat 5s this morning.
The second it came out, Patrick called me, and Patrick's like, "Hey, you know, packs came out. It was already gone from my account."
Come on.
I said, do you know packs came out? And then he goes, yeah. And then he's like, holy shit, packs are out. I was like, what the fuck you say yeah then for?
Way past gone.
I mean, anytime there's a pack that's out of the ordinary, right? Not a normal pack or a legendary pack, right? You're like, oh, says 6th year anniversary. Shit, don't even need to know what's inside of it. I'm buying it, baby. It's good value. It's definitely got to be good value.
That's
right?
what I did. I sent it to Guild Chat. I saw it like right when it came out, and I was like, holy packs, right? I didn't even look at what it was. I just saw the 6 on it, and I was like, it's got to be something special. So I didn't even actually look at the details before I announced it to Guild Chat. But yeah,
I do have a theory.
Pretty decent.
I do have a theory. Come to us is like this is like Come to us is downloading like which packs get sold the most, and they're gonna sell it, you know, because like there's A, B, C, D, E, F or whatever, and then whichever packs sell the most, they're gonna create more packs of that.
Holy fuck, that's toxic. Are you saying that a company looks at
everything?
You're saying that a company looks at their sales on a particular item, and if it sells more, they try to sell it more? Holy shit! Come to us as scumbag! Come to us as scumbag! Holy shit!
Yeah,
I think that with these packs though, it's good what they did because like they're giving you additional rewards on the bottom based on how many you buy. So technically, if you're not really that heavy spender, you could just buy 3 of the cheaper ones and still get the reward. You know what I mean? Like you can get the $5 and the $20 one, but the next one jumps to 50, so 50 is kind of heavy. For
some people said they buy the 5 and the 20, they get the value because it's good value for what you're paying if you like what you see in there.
Yeah, it is good value. Like,
and then you get 3 re-ups.
The $5 one, right? Yeah. The $5 one seems stupid, right? Because it's just 5 mysticals. You know, it's not a lot. It's like nothing to us, but to like regular, ordinary, free to play or low player players, like 5 scrolls for $5 it's technically still good value. You know,
it's better than the average by a lot. I did the comparison because you compare it to the 5 Mystic, 1 Legendary, 1 LD, 3,000 Crystal pack, right? You buy all those crystals, you get scrolls, you only get like 49, plus the LD, plus the Legendary. This one, $5 value, times 20 to make it $100 to compare with this, you're looking at 100 Mystic Scrolls, 1,000 energy, the 20 of each Angelmon, and 2,000 crystals. So if you're just doing proportionate value, right? That's why I tell people, anything from these packs, if you like what you see in there, if it brings you value, then just know that the price you're paying is better than any other pack that they would release.
And that's why I always say the growth packs, the anniversary packs, things like that. If you're not going to buy these, don't buy anything else. You know what I mean? Because you're just wasting your money. You're not getting the same bang for your buck. If you want to decide, like, you have $100 to spend, now's the time to use it. You know what I mean? Don't wait for it and go buy the monthly legendary or the monthly this, that. Like, forget that. Like, if you're going to spend a little bit of money, like, these are the packs you have to buy. And if you don't buy these packs, do not buy anything else because you're losing money.
Unless you buy re-ups.
Re-ups is debatable, but if you're not spending, chances are you don't have that many re-up targets. You know what I mean? Like, to justify buying 10 packs a month anyway. So
True. So another thing I wanted to bring up, public service announcement for those of you guys that didn't take a look at the packs. I recommend taking a look at it because there's actually free energy. So make sure you guys click it and collect your free energy. Everybody gets a little free energy there. So collect it.
It's free energy, 1 Mystic Scroll and mana, right?
Yeah, free energy, 1 Mystic Scroll and mana. That's right. So it gives you those 3 things. I kind of wanted to bring up the topic of that bottom bar, right? So that bottom area, this is the first time they're doing like a special, you know what I mean? And a lot of people are obviously saying, there's 2 perspectives. There's one perspective going, oh, that's so scamaz. They're just trying to bait us to buy packs. And then it's the other perspective of Wyka's just said that, hey, this is even better value. Thank you very much, Contras, right? Do you think that they should have had 2 bars, not just the free energy and the mystics, but they should have given us like a exclusive skin or something for 6-year anniversary and then also have the bonus, or what do you think? Because I feel like, I want a little bit more free stuff. I was looking forward to something free exclusive, not mystics and energy, but like something exclusive to kind of keep and remember.
Honestly, like that exclusive stuff, like realistically, like to a lot of people doesn't mean anything, but to a lot of other people, it's very, special to have. You know what I mean? Like it kind of what separates you from the guy that's starting to play tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, something that's nostalgic, something that's, unique, special, can't get again, money can't buy in the future, like once in a lifetime opportunity. So that kind of stuff does mean a lot to certain people. So I really think that with all these special packs, they should give you something. Even if it's something like stupid, like a lawn animal or something. You know what I mean? Lawn animal, and it's an Ellie ride, something like that. Just have someone say, yo, listen, I did this at this time, and you can't have this because you didn't play at this time. or you didn't spend at this time or whatever. I think so. You know,
you did give the background for the event though.
For the last event, that's why like they lost the background for this pack. I think because they gave it away in the event.
True. Any suggestions you guys have for like future packs that Comptos releases, or you think they're doing an okay job with the packs and whatnot? I mean, like I feel like it's a good balance. I mean, because I play a lot of other mobile games, and I don't really feel like Comptos is like that pushy with packs compared to a lot of other mobile games and what they do. You know, I think it's there. They provide a lot of packs right now. It might seem like there's a lot and they're pushing packs, but because it's 6-year anniversary, right? So I guess it kind of makes sense. But
there's also two ways to look at that though, because like. Yeah. For somebody that's free to play, you're like, oh, they're pushing packs, you know. But for you look at it from the other perspective, like if you were a long time player, like a lot of us are, like you're playing for 6 years, like we would have died for these packs in the beginning. You know what I mean? Any one of them, the $5 one would have been a dream. You know what I mean? Like there's so much availability, accessibility for new players and newer players and later on players. Like it's crazy. Like just for this 1 6-year anniversary. There's more value in these packs than probably all the packs for the first 3 years I played this game combined.
True.
Forget about the dollar amount, just what they're giving you for whatever not for what you're paying, just what they're giving you in these packs. And this just for the 6-year event is better than anything they gave all together in special packs for the first 3 years.
So
so much value for new players. It's great. I think it's great.
See the different perspectives, like I said. Go ahead, Tyler. Yeah.
1 second, I have to fix my push to talk key. I actually have a different perspective than you when you say that you think Summoners War is not that pushy on packs.
Okay.
I think that we're very, very normalized to it because we've played the game so long. We load in, we instantly close ads. We finish a dungeon run, we instantly close the pack. It's just instinct to close that pack without even looking at it or even seeing what it is. Like when someone says, oh, what's the pack this week? You're like, I have no fucking idea. Why would I know? I never look at it.
It's funny.
I didn't think about it. That's true.
I just want to comment on Tyler's thing real quick. It's funny you say that. Because when I turned on the game, this is a couple days ago, I turned the game on, and I'm so used to skipping the ads, right? That I caught a glimpse of that CM Diaries thing, right? I know what it is now, but at the time I was like, what is this? Some kind of special thing? But I skipped it so fast, I missed it. So I relogged the game like 5 times, and I still skipped it like 4 more times. I couldn't stop it. I was like, shit.
Because it's just habitual. It's habitual to close the packs. So funny, so what I'm saying is when we as people who have played this game for 5 or 6 years, when we look at the packs and we say, okay, the packs aren't pushy, it's just not true, to be honest. Like packs come up just as much as they do in other games. They're just easier to close. And maybe even not that, because when you click close, you have to click are you sure?
But the thing is that I will say one thing about like the packs. Like I said, I play other games and I feel that they're more pushy in other games than this. That might be a better statement to say. It's more pushy, and like you said, it's potentially a lot harder. It takes a little bit longer. I feel like it lags sometimes to try to close the pack. On the other games where it's pretty quick on Summoners War. But one thing I noticed that they changed that I was kind of upset about before was that when I used to do summons and I used to do other things, these random packs would pop up like while I was doing summons. Like I'm powering up and all of a sudden it'd be like, oh, Devilmon. Or like I'm like doing summons and they're like, oh, you want a re-app? And I'm like, what the hell? Where did this come from? And I made some Summoners War. Summoners War. Yeah, you can go back to a lot of my videos when we're playing, it'll pop up. But after I kind of talked about it, whatnot, I think it was a glitch, obviously. That's why I said that. And I think they fixed it. They corrected it. So I don't know. Like it just makes me feel like they have packs and that they know people in their community buy packs, so they don't have to do as much, right, to have people buy packs. I feel just with Summoners War. But there is still, I think, standard marketing and marketing strategy to let you see and be aware of the packs, obviously. But I just feel it's a lot less pushy than a lot of the newer mobile games that are out now and a lot of the other mobile games that I play. It's far less pushy, I feel. But that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
I don't really play any other games, so I don't know if it's more or less pushy. But I think it's part of what Tyler's saying too. I mean, I guess a lot of it too is kind of we're used to it already. You know what I mean? So if you're not a guy that buys, you instinctually close it very quick. Like you barely read what it is, or you play enough that you already know what pack's gonna pop up, what they're trying to advertise to you. So I guess it's a comfort thing too, maybe.
Right. What were you gonna say, Lucky?
Yeah, I just think we've all gotten used to it. That's all it is.
Might be biased.
I think it's spot on though. I agree with you when it comes to like I think it's also when we jump into other games, we're also quite foreign to it, so we kind of aren't used to the packs jumping in our face. So I think since we're mainly summon as well, we're kind of used to those packs jumping in our face, and we're used to just closing them down the moment they pop up. So that's probably the other thing.
I guess another thing is if you buy the packs, like if you buy the LD1, LD2 that comes out for the week, like it just doesn't show up again for the rest of the week unless you reset your cache, right? So like you literally just don't see it.
See, somebody made a comment in chat about Candy Crush, right? Candy Crush is more pushy. Every time you fail a level, they offer you to buy coins to get extra turns. You know, so that's
even tricks you because sometimes like you click no and it says, "Are you sure?" And you said yes, and then you accidentally buy it. That happened to me like 3 times, I swear. Like, yes, I'm sure I don't want it, or yes, you're sure you want it, you know? No, they do that in these games. So we all know that blessings make great value, but it's hard to get blessings, you know? You have to summon, get a dupe, and then buy the blessing. And you could choose not to buy the blessing, or you could get immemorial grinds or runes that everybody values very heavily. And I feel like back in the days, summoning, because we all chase that one monster, you know, either someone wants a Vanessa or Sierra or Hathor or Ganymede to finish their Hathor and etc., right? But back in the days, actually summoning and buying packs was more worth it because there's not that many monsters, and when you summon for that one monster, you have a higher chance of getting them, right? But nowadays, it's so cluttered with so many monsters. I mean, you get choices between like Art Master or Chandra, where you know, you want to get the Art Master, but they're so shit that you should have got the Chandra if, you know, you're starting to play. So I don't know, like, if packs are more worth it now or back then, but it feels like back then, because there's not that many monsters in the monster pool, that the packs were more worth it back then.
Well, the other thing, too, is besides the monster pool, you didn't have that many in your Pokédex, so, like, everything is new and exciting, you know? Now it's like, you know how hard it is to get excited about summoning? Like it's hard for us to get excited, you know, like because we have so much that it's like it's crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Sure, all I'm saying is like back then, if you're trying to chase one or two nat 5s, it's kind of easy, you know.
It was easier.
You're gonna get that Zyros, you know. Nowadays, trying to get that Zyros is really hard.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right about that.
And then you get that Zyros, and you have a choice between like Joe Gun or Zyros, and you choose the Joe Gun, and you're like fucked, you know, because Zyros
is for a long time on my account, I wanted Veligil. I didn't get Veligil until pretty late. So, and I was always like, when new monsters are about to release, I'm like, man, should I summon before? Because technically, when they come out, it reduces my chances of getting Veligil even more, you know? So there's been times like that. So definitely a part of
this new pack coming out, a lot of people's going to buy it, and a lot of people are just going to summon, and a lot of people's going to have a choice between any random monster or Art Master, and I hope they pick that any random monster.
Yeah, this is Thompson. This is Thompson nonstop public service announcing that he's mad. He has all 3 Art Masters.
Thompson has all 3 now.
Yeah, I know he has all 3.
Yeah. Really bad, man.
Yeah, Thompson.
This is Thompson undercover complaining that he has Art Masters.
That's a mistake, Thompson. You just said people buy the packs and if they get a choice. Yeah, Pepe laughed. They're gonna buy the packs and not even get a nat 5 choice. All right, that's a little bit toxic.
Get like 1 or 2 nat 5s if.
Really? How many scrolls do you get in these packs? Is it a 200 average?
No,
if it's average.
There's like the legendary scroll one. There's like mystic scrolls in there.
Bro, if you buy. Go ahead.
Yeah, but to come off of Thompson's comment too, like I think they should give away some blessings with these packs, honestly, because like not everybody has blessings. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people that aren't missing a lot of stuff that still have no blessings. You know?
Yeah.
I think they should give away blessings in these packs.
I like
honestly.
that. More 4-star blessings. A 4-star blessing would have been nice.
Well, any blessing. The 4-star blessing should be in the lower packs for sure to entice the newer players to play. Absolutely, you know, because
the blessing
there's people dying from Lucian still and stuff like that. You know.
The blessing should be free if you buy like 2 or more packs, or like something.
That's what the gift should be on the bottom. Like I was asking about more gifts.
Like Devilmon's always great, and Reaps. Yo, we can't complain about Devilmons and Reaps though. Like Devilmons and Reaps are just
actually if they gave everybody a free like 4-star blessing, I think people would be so stoked. Just for that.
Oh, yeah, and 4-star blessing, like, they shouldn't even care about giving that to you. Like that should be something you could buy in the shop. Like, you should be able to trade in 4 stars for 4-star blessings or something.
Do you remember when it was 2 weeks ago? I think I was talking about login rewards, and they should revamp those. They should put a 4-star blessing in every single month's login.
I like that. That's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Like 4-star blessings are like cool, helpful to a lot of players.
It's very helpful to new people. You know, like my wife, she's free to play. You know, but she doesn't play serious, but she still plays every day, and she has no Lucian and no Shayna and stuff. You know, so like. That halts a lot of your PvE, your farming progression.
Yeah, and even if you're more towards the end game, it's like you get a twin skill up. You're like, sweet, I got a skill up that I needed, or like, hey, I got another,
I agree with that, and they really shouldn't care about 4-star blessings. You know what I mean? Like,
I've never
5-star
realized...
blessings I know a little valuable to them, but like 4-star blessings, like who cares? You know, like
I've never realized the importance of 4-star blessing until like since the String Masters came out. I think I summoned about like 5,000 to 6,000 mystical scrolls, and I got about like
it? Oh, you slowing down?
But out of those,
yeah, I'm not getting String Masters either, Thompson. It's the weirdest thing.
Hey, yo. I've been doing a lot of summons as well, and I have not seen that many String Masters.
Okay,
but I feel okay. I don't know about probabilities and the math and probabilities, but in terms of how I feel like I have not pulled a lot of String Masters.
The Twins didn't take that long to get max skilled. You know what I mean? Like these String Masters are problems, dude.
But if they have 4-star blessing, you'll have a higher chance of getting. I mean, imagine they came out with like other Nat 4s you want to summon. You're not gonna upgrade them with Devilmons, so you're just gonna keep summoning. So how many mystical scrolls do you have to summon to max out a String Master?
But that's why they had the event, right? And they gave us a couple String Master skill ups. I like that.
Yeah,
I hope they do that some more. Yeah, especially for the new units. Were you gonna say anything?
Well, 1,000, I got like 4 Art Masters. So how many scrolls do you have to summon to get like to max the skill?
String Masters.
You meant String Masters.
Yeah, String Master.
I mean, he probably got 4 Art Masters too, though. But he meant String Masters that time.
Yeah.
Were you saying something, Ken? Or you were good?
I was saying I've been getting a lot of gargoyles and they suck.
Oh, I've been seeing a lot of gargoyles too. Yeah, I hope they buff those. Right, we'll be talking about buffs and nerfs in a little bit, because I mean it's of course speculated balance patch, but I think they'll get a touch. So I mean those will probably be valuable, hopefully, right? It's kind of like banking on a little lottery ticket there.
So in terms of packs, I was thinking about this the last 2 nights, but you brought it up today. Thompson brought it up with like the analytics, like they're trying to figure out which packs to buy. I said, or which packs to sell. I'm just thinking, why don't they just sell more packs where it's like choose 4 out of 6 or like choose 3 out of 6? Like they should just sell those packs all the time because they're literally the best and everyone buys them.
Yeah, I think the choose packs are good too because depending on your level of the game, you could choose different things. You know what I mean? Like immemorials mean more to certain people than reaps do, or reaps mean more to certain people than summons do. So
those specific
I'm not opposed
packs,
to the choose ones. Yeah, honestly,
those specific packs like bridge the gap and appease like casual and competitive players better than anything else in the game. Because like if you're a collector, you're like, I just want my 35 Mystic Scrolls. Like why would I want 8 reappraisal stones? Like why am I re-rolling a rune 8 times when I can have 35 chances to summon a Sierra?
Yeah, it's very true that a lot of players in this game, even though for the most part we hear the most complaining about the players that are RTA and trying to be very competitive about my runes and stuff, or I can't get them and I can't compete against these other guys. One of the big bulk of players is actually just people who don't even care about that. They just care about collecting. They don't really give a fuck about their runes. They don't care about like all the runes and being the number one, right? They get some runes, they play around with units, and they just try to collect. There's a lot of collectors, that play the game. So. Yeah, that's very true. Giving that opportunity would be nice.
To tie it all back together, if you're looking for like the best budget of packs to buy, the $70 pack I think is the highest value. The $100 pack has the highest value if you're competitive because it has reaps in it, and then everything else is up to you. I think that the $70 pack is by far the best, and you pair the $70 pack with 2 of the other packs, and then you get the double one at the end. I think that's the best value. The 70, 50, and then something else is probably the way to go if you're looking to like mid-tier spend.
I think people, all you have to do is like figure out your budget first, right? How much you can budget, and then after that you look through the packs, see what correlates, and then you can also see what you like. Because everything that you're getting, whether it's the ones that has scrolls only, or the ones with reaps, or the ones with runes, will all be good value. It's just what you want, right? What you want to target. So this is your kind of pick and choose.
Yeah, what you want and what you could afford. You know what I mean? And like I said, if you're not gonna buy these packs, don't come over and ask me, oh, should I buy this pack next month? Forget it. You know what I'm saying? No, the answer is no. Like, if you don't buy these, just don't buy anything until another growth pack comes out, or anniversary pack, or holiday pack, something like that. This is the most value you're gonna get. So
and don't get baited by the pack that comes out every other month that has like 2 legendaries, 2 LDs, 2 Devilmon, 2,500 crystals. Like that pack is good, but it's not as good as these are. These are still better.
Yeah, those are good. Exactly. Those are really good. But these still is way stronger. However, the one that came out this last month is actually a little better than previous because it had 5 reaps as the bonus instead of a 1 decoration.
Yeah.
But it's still not better than these packs.
Tyler, is the 10 reap stones better than the $60 one? The one with 10 reap stones and 2 legendary scrolls and 4 light and dark scrolls?
Versus which one?
Versus the one you talked about.
The rune pack.
So you're saying the 100 versus the 70?
Yeah, he said if you're
the 71 is the one that has Devilmon, isn't it?
70 is 71 with the immemorials and the runes?
I think 70
immemorials and runes, right? Immemorials and runes. The $50 one has the Devilmon, and the $100 one has the Reaps.
We didn't buy it so fast. We could answer this question easy.
Yeah,
I haven't. I'm doing R5. Otherwise, I checked.
Disappear so fast. These things.
Can't see it.
I can check it out for you. So the $70 one has the 3 LD, 6 legend runes, 3 immemorials, 3 grinds.
Yeah.
The 50 has a legend scroll, 15 attribute, 2 devils, and some summoning stones. And the big one, the $100 pack, has 2 legends, 4 LDs, 35 mystics, and 10 reaps.
Yeah, so you buy what you need, like whatever you want to progress with. If you need reap targets, you buy the runes. If you need gems and grinds, like just overall, you buy that. If you need the
as far as like end game players go, like I do agree, like what Tyler's saying. I don't disagree that 70 and 50 are very good value. But once you get, if you know about end game, like I think Tyler's talking more for like the overall player. But once you're end game, like anything that has the word reap in it,
100% you buy it.
It's the dream. You know what I mean? Like the reaps is what you're chasing. You know, Devilmon's is even like kind of secondary for us. The dream word is reaps. Like reaps will just lure anybody that's a end game player in. You know.
Come to us. Can I have a suggestion? When you sell packs like this, or you sell multi packs, can you guys have a button that can buy all, so that under my bank statement, my wife only sees 1 transaction instead of 50? Thank you very much.
What they need to do is they need to sell everything in the packs individually, so that there's like 50 purchases, all like $5 each.
Yeah, so it's like the bank statement
when I
comes
buy
out,
reaps, I buy 1 reap at a time, right? Every reap is $3.
Like they should, because then when the bank statement comes out, bro, you're like, yeah, I just spent $10.
One day I'll be sure
your bank's probably gonna cut you off.
I'll tell you my Gmail email one day. When she says Google, the whole email is just Google.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen other games do it, so I don't know if there's logistical issues with.
That's why you gotta do Amazon coins. You just make 1 Amazon coins purchase. That's all you need.
It doesn't last that long, dude.
Alright, very good discussion here on packs. So if you guys were curious on what to get and what to purchase, hopefully that kind of opened it up for you guys. And hopefully in the future we see better packs and some better free stuff, more exclusive stuff. Would be awesome to see moving forward. Alright, moving on to topic number.
Do we have time to discuss one small thing involving the packs?
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but in my chat, people always ask me, they're like, do you think the value of packs is worth it when you compare to non-mobile games? And I want to ask what you guys think about this. My opinion is yes. My opinion is that you can spend that $100 on whatever you feel like, right? If you want to buy a PS4 and 5 games, you're going to spend $500, right? If the time you get out of that $500 is enjoyed and spent, it doesn't matter what you spend it on. That's my stance on it always, is that if you have money and you want to spend money on something that you enjoy, you're paying for entertainment. You can pay for whatever entertainment you want that's legal.
Okay.
Whether that's playing gacha games or playing single player games, or like you play BDO or something, like it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, enjoy it.
I will give you a good analogy though, like actual just raw analogy here. So when people get ancient crystals, right? They can either buy a blessing, which I talk about all the time, being, you know, kind of like the sucker bet. It can be fun, it can be, you know, valuable if you hit something. And then you can buy either the guaranteed progression with the runes, grinds, and gems, right? So same thing with spending money in Summoner's War, right? If you choose to buy something, maybe IRL, right? It's guaranteed progression, right? Because you're going to get a PlayStation or whatnot. It's guaranteed you're going to have fun with it, right? Or you can buy packs, right? But there will be the chance of it not being as rewarding, right? Just
it's
know
the exact same thing though. Like whatever you purchase, just because you physically have the item does not mean you will get the same level of entertainment and enjoyment out of it, right? The point I'm trying to make is that regardless of what you spend it on, if you make the active choice and decision to spend it on it, it was worth it to you.
Yeah, but the thing with
it's the concept of not letting
or make it worth it to you.
No.
Yeah. So this is the concept of saying that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying the thing with Summoner's War is that people buy the packs and then they don't hit, so they end up feeling like they have nothing. That's the only reason why people are saying that, hey, it's not as worth it. But it's in hindsight, obviously, we understand that. So that's probably the reason why they feel that way. So that's what makes it tough.
You know what's messed up? If you spend too much money in Summoner's War, then you'll have no friends. In a way where it's like, you started Summoner's War with your friends, right? And then your friends don't spend money, but you spend money. And they're like, yo, how do you get so strong? Yo, this game is lame. That's messed up. That happened to Ken Baller, right?
Didn't that happen to you too? I thought you had a friend named Kevin.
They're still my friends. They're still my friends though. We just don't talk about.
No, I know. Yeah, we just don't talk.
We just don't talk about the game.
But like, you know, if you're to trade, like, it'll be nice if you still have friends and you know we all play Summoner's War together. You know, that's still fun too. You know.
Yeah, that's why in the terms of services for CompToUs, when you sign up, it says that they're not liable for any loss of friendship or relationships IRL. It says that in the terms of services. I'm just fucking with you.
I mean, so the reason I bring it up is because this is like the concepts of results-based thinking, right? It's like, I'm going to buy the pack. If I get something good, it was worth it. If I didn't get something good, it wasn't worth it. And I disagree with that like logic. It's like, if you're going to spend that $100, you literally know what you're putting into it. And your expectation meeting reality has nothing to do with those things. They're not exact. They're not the same, right? You can't just like put $100, or you can't, okay, for example, you can't summon 200 scrolls and expect a nat 5. Right.
And what I'm saying,
you can be like, these are the average rates, but that's not how statistics work, right?
And what I'm saying is, if you summon something good, you lose your friends, and if you don't summon something good, you get sad. So,
when you don't summon something good, your friends feel bad for you, but then they rub it in your face.
That's coming from the guy who just bought like 6,000 scrolls or something in the last like couple months. I don't know. I'm doing summons. Wait a minute.
Couple months.
Couple days. Couple hours. Today?
Weeks.
23 days.
All right.
It wasn't months, I'll tell you that one.
Good topic here on packs. I love talking about this because it brings open perspective, right? A lot of times people get caught up on packs and spending money and Summoners War, and it all comes down to perspective, which is great that we can talk about it, right, and have that knowledge be heard, right, from you guys watching the podcast here. Moving on to topic number 2, going to change gears a little bit. We're going to talk about the Legend Tournament happening this weekend, right? So we got the Legend Tournament coming up this weekend. Who do you think is going to win? And second part of the question, what can we suggest for future Legend Tournaments moving forward? I believe the 4 players, I think Ken Baller told me, I think it's right. Korean guy, this Korean guy, there's Dog Guy, there's How to Play, and there's True Whale that are going to be competing, right? Who do you think is going to win this tournament this weekend?
That IslandGrown guy's going to win now that he has a Molong.
I could start first. I think I mean I'm great friends with Alex, but dude, Dog Guy is really hard to beat.
Yeah?
He's gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah, Dog Guy's gonna be like the favorite, and he's always gonna be the, on paper and in real life favorite, you know what I mean? And like, True Well is like brother to all of us, you know what I'm saying? And we obviously, hope he wins, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna ask us who we want to win, it'll be, but if you want to ask us a realistic answer, like, sure. Dog Guy's the favorite, you know what I mean? He's got to be the favorite in every aspect of the game. The monsters, the runes, the experience, you know what I mean? Like, he has everything going. That account has everything going for it, you know what I mean? It's like one direction or another. It's every direction, But anybody can win because RTA is as much skill and as much runes and as much monsters as it is. Luck is still a big factor. But go ahead, Tyler.
Can I bring up a controversial question?
Sure.
Do you think that so we know that people who abused reaps in the past can't compete in SWC, but do we think they shouldn't be allowed to compete in anything?
Oh, that's a good question. We actually talked about this before in the past, but we didn't talk about Legend Tournament in particular.
I think that they should have rolled back to the past. I think that CompToUs fucked that up really bad. I think that by allowing people to keep what they purchased and not just giving them the money back and saying "fuck you,"
the only argument to that though is there was a lot of other packs that were exploited over time too. So it's like if you punish that, you punish the other ones too. Because there was a time where Devilmon packs were unlimited. There was a time where monthly packs were unlimited. Obviously, that time during the reapps were unlimited. So it's like a lot of accounts, got funny.
I mean, it doesn't have to be retroactive though. It can just be at that instance. They could have put their foot down on that particular instance, right?
Can I explain how, like, what it is? Because I think a lot of people don't know. Like, we know because we've been around for a long time, but I think a lot of people don't actually know what the reap abuse was or like what this Devilmon glitch that Pat's talking about. So there was a period, I think it was the 3rd month of reap release, where reaps were released about 2 to 3 hours earlier than they were supposed to be. And you could buy them, and you could buy an unlimited amount of them for about half an hour. So there were like, the notice they came out with said that there were 21 people that bought amounts past the limit. Now, to the extreme extent of that, there were some players who literally spent like 60 grand or more on reaps because they knew if I just buy these an indefinite amount of them until I can't, I will literally be the strongest player in the game forever.
I wonder how long the time period was that they allowed that and how much was actually spent. Because 60 grand doesn't sound feasible in 30 minutes. It doesn't even sound feasible in 60 minutes to purchase that quickly.
Yeah, I don't know how much it was. I don't know what it is, but like, it's hypothetically, it's impossible because,
even if it's not 60 grand,
it could have been that small of a window. Like, it was definitely a bigger window. Like, it was done before that was a time when it got like found out, maybe. But like before it got discovered, I think.
So the time frame when it was released in the game to the time frame where they actually took the game down, because they closed the servers for a little bit. Was like an hour. Was like an hour-ish and like 10 minutes, I think. Right. Because I heard about it right when it came up, because I saw it. I saw it immediately because I was playing the game. And then what happened was, people were like, "Do we buy these? Do we not buy them? Like, is this a bug?" And then some people were like, "Yo, these are indefinite," and some people were just buying them out like fucking crazy. Like, a friend of mine had 500 reaps. Whoa. I'm like, and that's not even that much.
Wait, I know who that was.
I know, we both know who that was. That person doesn't play the game anymore. So like, it's kind of irrelevant because they don't play the game anymore. But like, that person bought 500 reaps and they stopped. They stopped really early on buying those reaps. But think about the people who just kept going. Like, they just kept going and kept going and kept going, right? It wasn't Flaw. It wasn't Flaw.
No, it wasn't Flaw, because I remember Flaw. He was streaming. He was streaming at that moment. Flaw was streaming. He's like, "Huh? I could keep buying it," but then he didn't buy it in time, and they fixed it already, so he didn't get the chance.
He said, "If I had 20 grand right now," he's like, "If I had money right now."
Yeah, they were the same price. But yeah, so that happened, and there was a certain amount of accounts that did it. And I think out of that pool of whatever, 20 accounts or whatnot, I think to this day, I'm not sure exactly which players had access to that, and it's confirmed that they did it. But there's only a handful that we know that are on like the top, you know? So yeah, so going back to the question there, do you think they should be allowed to play Legend tournaments and whatnot?
No.
I think they should. Not at all. Yeah.
I think they should, only because it was a game error. The game chose not to correct it, and they shouldn't get punished for a game error. If they were warned, like if there was a warning or whatever, you can't do this, and they did it, now they're breaking guidelines, and now they're illegal, technically, they're cheating. But the game made the mistake, and the game didn't, handle it, and didn't handle them at the time. So, like, just because, right, so for example, that guy, right, he spent 60 grand, let's just say. Mm-hmm. So I should be punished. I put 60 grand of my money in because you messed up, and now I can't play with my 60 grand. You know what I'm saying?
Later,
that wouldn't float.
That's intentionally abusing an issue in the game, right? Like, it's
it's technically it's a terms of service. Even if it's their fault, you abused it. You actively made the choice to abuse it.
Yeah.
That's fair, but then it had to be handled then and not 2 years later, like Thompson saying. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little too late to punish now.
I would say the way
I don't think it's too late.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead. You were saying something.
Oh, I was just saying. I think the way they handled it could have been way better. Like, the way they took approach to it and handled it could have been better. But I'll say this to any person out there playing any games, right? When you sign up for an account, you always have that terms of agreement. Just remember, anything that you think is not a part of the game or could be a glitch, you should not do, because that breaks the terms of service at any moment, and they have the right to terminate everything from you, and they have the right to do anything. Even if you spent $1 million legally, you couldn't do shit because you accepted the terms of services. Keep that in mind. So if you don't like that fact, you might want to review what games you're playing, because you always check that box of terms of services. So I would try to avoid glitches. Like, people always try to do little glitches like stacking islands. I don't think people are gonna get banned for it. But if CompToUs someday wanted to be like, "Hey, fuck you, right? You're stacking an island. I don't like you. I'm gonna ban you. You can't do anything legally. You can't, but you're stacking."
That's why I stacked my buildings before they said you can't do it.
Oh yeah, I heard something about that too. Technically, yeah, I heard something.
Well, they came out with a notice a couple of years on that one.
Right.
But my point with this thing is the people who abused reapps and have spent in the game, CompToUs could honestly just afford to just give them all of their money back and permanently ban them from the game if they wanted to. It's totally within their limitations. Like, they could very easily do that. The only reason that I think that it might be relevant or an issue is because it's very clear that CompToUs wants to take the game seriously, and they want the game to be competitive, right? They want it to be competitive, but how can you allow the game to be competitive when you have such a clear indication of players who very, very strongly abused bug in the game. And how can you allow your game to run that way and still expect people to take you even moderately seriously?
I think it's right, but then I feel like since they can't play SWC where it is the competitive part, you know, like, then is the tournament, you get the rank 1 statue, you know, and you get your name on there, but it's not for any prizes besides that.
But it's such a redeemed thing to like be able to push for that legend tournament, right?
True.
Like Alex pushed for that legend tournament. He tried his absolute hardest. He spent a lot of money, put a ton of time into the game, and like pushed to be top 4, right? Maybe. But like he's always going to be behind Dog Guy and behind Tomato and behind, right? Because like you just can't catch up that kind of difference.
I wonder if maybe they should, for that reason, to allow some of those players that, you know, these are top, obviously the Megalodons are the top players, right? To allow them to have that opportunity, maybe they should limit the legend tournament to once per account then. Whatever happened, I mean, some people got multiple, right? I mean, they won multiple times, but maybe once per account might be nice. And then you're not eligible again for maybe the next year or whatnot until it allows it. So more people can try to get that legend statue. Right?
Yeah, but then you lose that player, and those players pay the bills. You know what I mean? Like those Megalodons pay the bills, and then these C3 guys pay the bills too. But those Megalodons pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? And like you can't really afford to upset the Megalodon, bro. You know what I mean? You don't want to piss off the big boy. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to upset the guy feeding you. You know? Yeah, so it's a really hard situation from their aspect too. Is like you don't want to disappoint anybody, especially those guys.
The game is big enough and has grown enough that they could honestly cut their losses with that pretty easily if they wanted to.
Oh, they got a ton of money, but you never turn down free money. You know what I'm saying?
Like, well, it depends. Long-term investment, short-term investment, right? That's all it is. It's a long-term investment versus a short-term investment setup.
Yeah, but it's a long time investor. You know what I mean? You don't want to cut off your long time. Like, let's say let's say you're not a big spender, but you decided, okay, starting today, I'm going to be a big spender. You know, like you still got a long time before you catch up to that guy. You know what I mean? Like that guy's been big spending. You know, you never want to piss off the guy that's continuously big spending you. Like you have a guaranteed subscription fee out of that guy. You have a potential subscription fee out of you. But that guy is guaranteed subscribing every month. Guaranteed subscribe.
I mean, I guess it's also the thing that those guys that abuse the re-ups and whatnot, they're not going to be able to compete in SWC. So that's and they're still sticking around to play the game. So
after the first one, they're not allowed to compete in SWC.
Yeah, I really
after the first one, because I'm pretty sure Tomato won the first one.
They really should have addressed it right away. You know, like just refund their money, take back the re-ups. You know what I mean? Because they'll do like now. See that was like their inexperience at the time when it happened to situations. Like now they're much more experienced with how to handle these things. Like it will never happen again. You know what I mean? Like if anybody got an extra pack, they'll literally send out a notice and you get cleaned back out. You know, like sorry, like bye, and you'd be lucky if you get your money back. To be honest, you know. So they'll never make that mistake again. But I think that they really dropped the ball on handling it at that time, and there's really nothing you could do about it now. From like multiple standpoints, you probably shouldn't do anything about it. But like they really dropped the ball, and I agree with that. I can't disagree that they dropped the ball on that one because if you found the problem that quickly, it was easily rescindable. You understand? Like, but now you want to rescind, the guy has 800,000 runes since then. You know what I mean? What are you going to take away? What are you going to do? What are you going to take back?
Yeah.
You know, it's not even the money standpoint. How can you make his account fixed? You can't.
Baron just said, Baron, you gotta join us sometime, man. But Baron just said that never happened again. Doubt it because it recently happened. When did it happen? I want to know. I want to know actually.
I was talking about the special pack too, but they refunded it. I think.
Oh, they refunded everybody and took it back. What special pack 2?
You know how you could buy multiple of the re-ups for the.
Oh, was it the $50 one that has not as many re-ups, like 3 or something?
Yeah.
That one happened.
One Devilmon.
But they were like, I don't know if they refunded people, but they took back the packs. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I don't know if people got their money back. I heard about it too. I don't know if they got their money back.
Yeah.
But I know that they took back if you got extra.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by not happening again. You know,
I don't think they refund that, dude. I don't think they refund that.
Yeah, Because they don't have to refund it because it's against terms of service again, right?
Exactly. But I feel like it wasn't a big, I didn't really hear about it. So maybe not that many people did it, or the quantity wasn't as high and as high of a volume as the previous one. So they just took all the resources back, which was good. That's good on them. So
yeah, I guess Barry thought something different, but if there's something different, I don't think I've heard of it. So
yeah.
Also, for the Devilmon one, people were discussing earlier, a long time ago, maybe I think it's about a year and a half now, right?
Yeah,
when they've
it's a little over a year. It's a little over a year.
So a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, etc. What you could do is if you logged in to a device and you clicked purchase on the Devilmon page, you could it would separate you from the game, and you could log into your account on another device and do the same thing, and you could literally rinse and repeat. So if you had like 15 devices, you could literally buy 15 Devilmon packs.
Correct.
Yeah. I've heard of
so there were people who like on some months would buy like 5 Devilmon packs, or they'd buy like 7 Devilmon packs if they had the devices, or they would just ask their friends to log in and do it for them.
Yeah.
And then the one for LD packs is that, and this is I think the majority way why anyone could have a bajillion LDs is because when the LD pack comes through on the weekly, if you reset the cache on your game or delete your game, uninstall and reinstall, you're able to repurchase those packs because they show up again. The game doesn't register you as having purchased them, so they show up again.
Yeah. So it's interesting how they've tried to.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work for them for the monthly LDs anymore. Like the limited three per the $300 ones, $70 ones, $350 ones. Like it's limited now. Before it wasn't limited. It was the same theory as what Tyler was saying. Like if you have multiple devices, if you have 20 devices, you could buy the $100 pack 22 times. You know, so that was like how people were like summoning like 100 something, 200, 300 LDs in a month. Otherwise, even if you spend, there's only so many you could buy, right?
Yeah.
So that's the story.
Okay, so back to the topic here on the Legend tournament. Who do you guys think think's gonna win? And if you guys also want to,
Truewell's gonna win.
Yep.
Yeah. Does anyone ever think Dog Guy's not gonna win?
I literally think he always gonna win, dude.
Did you guys not see him shit on the guy last season? He let him pick Hathor Gianna, and he picked a whole non-will team and just dumpstered him with Ganny Gemini. Like there's no chance. Like
that's a big part of the games when you have the options too. You know, when you have options, like it's heavy. You know, like when you have that many runes to go around, that you just have like your 10th set is just as good as the guy's first set. It's a pretty comfortable way to play. You know,
like he just has so much depth and so much quality and so many of everything that he could just like.
Yeah, but the biggest thing, like I said, with RTA. Is anything can happen. The right proc, not one proc, but the right proc changes the whole perspective of the game. You know, Veljul procs out to cleanse, you know? Things like that. That ends the game, bro. You're running a SWC team, and Veljul fucking procs out and cleanses, like, you're sayonara, bro. You're finished. I don't care who you are.
Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about that a second, about, like, luck, right? So I've heard some people talk about this in, like, TFT before, so I thought it was a good comparison here to Summoners War, right? Is that in TFT, I talked to some players that are, you know, top players, and they always say, even though people always say TFT is luck, at the end of the day, why are the top challengers always the same players? Same thing with Summoners War, right? Wait. But same thing with Summoners War, right? If luck is the hugest factor, why is always the top players almost always the same players, right? Obviously, they're probably good, and maybe they have good luck, and they have good units and runes, but
absolutely. But the better accounts is always going to be the favorite. You know what I mean? But it's not to say you can't win otherwise. You know, like you're still a favorite. Like me versus Thompson, right? Thompson's the favorite. Without a doubt, if we run a trial of 100 games, he's going to win at least 70% of the games, okay? But that still means I win 30 out of 100, you know what I mean? So if I get luck, if my 30 comes before his 70, I beat him in a tournament. You know what I mean? Like, so luck is a factor, but luck doesn't exactly overweigh the better account, but luck can change the dynamic of the game. Like, the favorite is still the favorite. Like, Truewell versus Dog Guy. Okay, Dog Guy is the favorite, okay? However, Truewell can beat Dog Guy. Truewell has beaten Dog Guy on many, many occasions. But Dog Guy has beaten Truewell on many occasions too. You know what I mean? So luck is a factor, but the top players always been top players. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dog Guy is a top player because his account is strong. It's without a doubt it's strong. But he's beatable. You know, I've beaten him many times. You know what I'm saying? I've beaten all the top players many times, you know, but I'm not favorite, but it can happen. You know what I mean? It can happen. That's all. And that's what I'm saying. RTA and a best of 3, anything can happen.
Another way to look at it, kind of more like from a formula perspective, is like if Dog Guy is the 100%, right? Like the quality 100%, and you're at like a 70. Luck can make up for a small portion of that, like maybe the 10%. But if that guy's like 30% above you in terms of quality, you're just not gonna win, right? As well as that, there are certain types of compositions where it doesn't matter because they don't rely on luck. There are some comps that just don't rely on luck, right?
Yeah, you take out 2 units instantly, yeah.
Is it Tomato that was running Nephthys, Tiana, Bastet, Lucian Trinity or something? Or Zyros, and it's like, that's just insane. Right. Absolutely insane. Because the Tiana is like 200 or 315 speed on Will, and then he's got the Nephthys speed lead, and he's got the Lucian Bastet in there. It's like, how do you beat that, right? It's ignore defense damage, it's an ignore resistance mechanic on 2 units, and then it's just a huge damage nuke. So like,
but there's always something that beats it, because otherwise they'd be 100% win rate, right? And they'd be rating 10,000.
There are counters.
Well, right, so I feel like the counters to that are actually you have to draft the units.
No, correct, and I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. Like, but there's still a little bit of luck, and if your luck triggers at the right time, is what I'm saying. Like I said, me versus Thompson 7-3 out of 10. Okay, but if my 2 out of my 3 come before 2 out of his 7, I beat him. You know what I mean? And it could happen. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a best of 3 is the problem. If it was like a best of 100, never. Nobody beat Dog Guy. Okay, best of 100, nobody beat Dog Guy, hands down. But in a best of 3, if you get lucky, if you play good one game, he gets all you need is he gets unlucky once, and then you get lucky once. You're the winner. Yeah. That's all you need, technically. You know,
isn't that
in a long race, you'll never beat him, but in a short race, you have a chance.
I think best of 3 is a good balance though, because if it's any longer, it kind of drags it out too.
And it favors the better player.
Isn't it exciting when you do see those game-changing procs? When Veldil comes out of that sleep and then procs and then gets and changes.
No, absolutely. It's exciting when it doesn't happen to you. You know what I'm saying? When you're the one on the other side.
But there's a whole reason why they're at the top, right? Like, there's a whole reason why he would be at the top. Yeah, it doesn't happen as often, right? Like,
correct.
If it happened, probably happened once. But you probably won't see it twice. You won't see it 2 more times, right? Out of the best of 3.
But that's what I'm saying. All you have to do is you get lucky once, and he gets unlucky once, and you beat him. I mean, it's really that simple in a best of 3. Literally, you know, like.
I think there's a lot of factors.
It's like doing a basketball 3-point shootout with an NBA player. You know, he makes one bad shot, you make one good one. You know, like, it's even. You know, you win. That's all it takes, dude. It's just one shot.
That's kind of the beauty, though, like, between the best of 3 and the best of 5. Like, the best of 3 is nice because it gets the match out quickly and it gives people a chance to win. But the best of 5 is always nice because it actually shows, like, how players adapt to other players. Like, Dog Guy is the best example of that. In last Legend tournament, we saw him adjust with 5 different comps, and he won with 4 of them, right? Like, that's... really good, right?
And then while Tyler brings that up again in a best of 3, right? It's not only about like lucky, unlucky. Like, if I all of a sudden pick wrong, I make one wrong pick, or I make one wrong ban, or I can't find the monster in the 30 seconds, like that's one loss already.
Yeah, that's why
one loss.
That's why I give him a lot of I give him respect, even though his account's really good. He does that to kind of show his knowledge and power of the game, because I say there are many factors in the game, right? We talk about luck, we talk about monsters, we talk about runes, and we talk about skills. The higher the bar is on all of those, the better of a player you are.
Absolutely.
But, so I mean, a favorite. Even though we agree, Dog Guy's got very good runes, very good monsters, but he's got very good knowledge of the game as well. And a lot of these top players 100%. Are very, very smart. It comes down to that. People think it's always runes. Yo, you can give any of these pleb G1 players a solid account, and they will not perform to the efficiency of like some of these top players and their knowledge of the game, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, skill is very, very important. So
that's why a lot of streamers, even we have, like, you know, people watching us. They say, "Hey, you want to do my RTA?" You know, and like we'll go on their account and we'll do terrible. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's just because we don't have knowledge of that account, you're not going to play good. Like, just because I'm a G3 skilled player, if I play a C3 account, don't mean I'm going to give you like 10 wins out of like 9 wins out of 10. You know, there's no guarantee. Because it goes back to the experience and the knowledge of your own account, you know.
And it can very well go the other way too. Like, there's some people who are like really, really good at the game. They understand the game really well. That, and like, they don't spend, or they haven't played for very long. Like, I've given my account to a couple of people who do way better than I do. It's just like these people are consistently in Noob Room beating G3 players. It's like, all right, well, that's pretty cool.
Or they're min-maxing their drafts and their battle to be so close, even though they still lose, but they min-maxed it so close with their drafts that it's crazy that you're like, damn, you got close to winning, even though your rune gap and your monster gap is insanely Vast. Yeah. But so I guess we come to agreement. Are we all saying that Dog Guy's the big favorite?
No, Truel's the winner. Goodbye.
I mean, we want Truel to win, obviously. That's what I'm saying. As I say, we want Truel to win, but Dog Guy's the big favorite. He's the number one seed.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's the favorite, and he'll always be the favorite because he got ahead when there was the time to get ahead.
Yeah. If Alex doesn't win, I want the Korea guy to win.
Wait, what is this Korean guy, anyways? Korea guy.
For some reason, I thought it was.
Apparently, he's like 17 years old.
Oh, really? Is this his first time Legend tournament, or is it the first time he's up here? Like, because I haven't heard of it.
That's a Korean prince. That
is it somebody's account, or is it his? Is it like a brand new account we've never seen before in top tier?
I don't know.
It's 4Baby's son.
4Baby's son.
Really?
Are you guys trolling?
Yeah, apparently.
No, someone in the chat said that. I'd believe it if Wookie said it.
Isn't 4Baby like 4Baby's not that old, right?
It's actually 4Baby's son. Oh, okay. Interesting speculation. Wow.
Isn't 4Baby's like late 30s?
Oh.
Oh, he's play the Apple account.
Good to go. Good to know. Interesting. Okay. Wow. So this should be interesting. I mean, somebody's like a wild card, a different face in there, right? Would be nice to see. All right, I'm excited for the Legends tournament happening this weekend. If you guys are going to be tuning in, my Friday night stream is actually not going to be a podcast this week. I'm going to be doing a little bit of an RTA showcase. So I might invite some people. I haven't fully figured out who I want to invite yet, but maybe to get 2 or 3 faces in here, I might do like a little peanut gallery, right? Enjoying the Legend tournament and commentating and watching with you guys. So make sure you guys tune in or look forward to the upload. We'll probably upload it as well to YouTube if you guys missed this Legend tournament.
How does it make you guys feel to know this 17-year-old kid's better than all of us?
Kind of sad.
He's not better.
I'm proud. I'm proud. The younger generation's taking over. I love that.
He's not better. He's richer, bro.
That's a factor, sure.
So the question should be, how do you feel that a 17-year-old got more money than you and is luckier than you? That's the question. He's not better. There's no way he's better.
No, I clearly got outsmarted.
Yeah, he's not better. He's richer, though.
Keeping it real. Okay. Interesting perspective.
Because you can be mad good. Like Thompson's pretty good. I give Thompson a free-to-play account. He ain't top 4. Ken Baller ain't top 10 with a free-to-play account. I'll say that right now. So he's richer. End of story.
What do you mean Ken is free-to-play?
Yeah.
Ken hasn't spent 50K. He's free-to-play.
Yeah, true. Or has he?
He's Y-Cut's free-to-play. Got you. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, these are good players, but like I say, he's obviously not going to be a bad player, okay? I'm not saying he's a bad player, but the funds.
End of the day, I will say this is Legend tournament. There's not really a crazy prize, so I'm glad and I hope it's going to be entertaining. I hope the players take it seriously, but I hope it's going to be entertaining. Hopefully they whip out some fun comps and whatnot, because it's like an exhibition tournament. I feel, if anything, right? It doesn't count towards anything really except respect, and if they just want to push hard to try to win.
It's kind of cool that at least there's like always 1 or 2 new people in it, I guess.
Right. Exactly.
That's kind of interesting, I guess.
Excited to see. Yeah, I want all in the draft, Miho. Never mind. All right, moving on to topic number 3 here.
Before we move on, Brian, what about if they? So a suggestion about the tournament format. What about if they changed it? What about if they? Because they've got a whole 24-hour window. What about if they made it like a top 16 playoff or a top 8 playoff?
Yeah, we did suggest this before, but
I always think it should be like that, and they shouldn't do it right when the season closes. They should just dedicate the day after the season closes, so everybody can watch it at a fair time, and just make it a longer thing. And if it's longer, technically it's a fair time for everybody because somebody will catch it, some part of it, no matter what time zone they're in.
Hey, come to us. Maybe you got a little extra budget because you didn't do tours of America and stuff like that this year. I mean, maybe could have got some influencers to come and commentate it, right? I mean, just and just have some fun with it. Doesn't have to be official. I mean, just Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, a longer tournament would be nicer, right? More fun, right? Because the thing is, the tournament is for fun and it's for people to enjoy it and see top players duke it out and have some fun battles. So I'm always excited to watch it. So of course I'm rooting for Truel.
Yeah, I just think it's too short. I mean, the only reason why you sometimes don't feel I don't feel it's too short because it happens very late for me. Like it happens in the middle of the night for me. So I don't think it's too short in that sense. But I think that overall, for something so important, I guess, or something so advertised and people try to compete for, it's too quick, bro. 4 people, best of 3, bang bang bang, it's over. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, this should stretch it out a little bit, I think.
Yeah, and you also see more names up there too. If it was top 8 or top 16, you'll see a bit more variety. You'd see more people trying to push, because some people think top 4 is a bit too hard to get to, or you know, you have to put a lot more time investment into it. Like, for example, top 16, like Ken would be in it, right?
Right. And it's a lot better for the fans because, like, let's say Ken Baller has fans, you know what I mean? Has his own set of fans. Like, they'd want to see him in there. Like, not he doesn't have to be the top player in there, but for him to just be in there is a big deal for his fans. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that it's better for the whole community if it was more names up there. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to topic number 3. I'm just curious. I've been playing a couple other games and seeing a couple other things in other games. So have you guys played any other games in the past that, you know, have different mechanics or different things in the games that you want to suggest into Summoners War here?
I think I've been playing Dota 2.
Okay.
And then they have something called it's kind of cool what they do. They have something called like a battle pass. And then for the money you put inside, they raised I think like 16 million, and they put that money into like a tournament.
Half of it goes
like
towards TI
and whatever. But
16
million is not even like 16 million. I think it's where it's at right now, but it's gonna end like people speculate maybe 50 million or whatever. But it's kind of cool how they have that, you know?
Right. Mm. Yeah, I would like to see a pack or something in Summoners War that would support that. That would be kind of cool. That would actually be kind of cool if they supported that and they were to plan the SWC or do something with it. Because I mean, yeah, that just would give them more money and budget to use towards that, right? Or a bigger prize pool, or to do more with it. That would be really, really cool.
For the battle pass, it's like most of the stuff in there, when you buy it, it's all aesthetics, and you get it by accomplishing missions in the game. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that idea. So what were you gonna say, Tyler? Because I know you probably got some ideas.
We've been playing Exos Heroes.
We've been playing Exos Heroes.
We've been playing a lot of Exos Heroes. It's a good game, by the way.
I like it.
If
you didn't see my video yet, I did a video on Exos Heroes. Download using my link. But
can you spend money?
You can spend a lot of money in Exos Heroes.
I mean,
don't touch it, Patrick.
Not as much as Summoners War. Not as much as Summoners War.
So
not as much as Summoners War. Not as much as Summoners War. You won't be able to whale as hard as Summoners War.
Can't afford that shit.
In Exos Heroes, they do in the weekly arena. They have a weekly tournament every single week. 16 players play every single day to push to see who's like the best in arena that week. So it's like the last 16 get brought into the next week, and then it kind of goes forward and forward and stuff like that based on their points. And the cool thing is, as a player, well, yeah, they don't play. It's technically AI because it's like arena we have here, right? You fight the dedicated AI and stuff, and you see who wins and stuff like that.
I like this.
And their end game PvP is way more pay to win than ours is. Like way more pay to win than having like a Tianlang or anything like that. Like not even close. But the cool thing is, as a player, you get to vote on who's gonna win the matches. So like Monday, you have the first 4. Like the first 4 matches, and then everyone votes, and it shows you the percentages everyone's voting on, right? And so what happens is you vote, and then if you win, you get rewards, right, based on that stuff. And the next players play, and then you basically just get rewards as it goes along as a player. It, for me, like I think that would be cool because it would entice more people to just kind of like see what top tier like RTA is or top tier arena is, and it's literally just free rewards, and it also like you get to see what people are doing at the end game easier.
Yeah, I've so in Exos Heroes I've been playing it. I mean, I got sponsored. That's why I kind of heard about it. And to play it, I downloaded the game. I recorded the sponsored video, and I've been logging in every day, even after the sponsored video. So they hooked me. I think they tried to debate me, but I've been enjoying it. Right? I've been enjoying it quite a bit. And there's a couple things that they have in the game which are kind of cool. They also have like other things in arena like tag team, where you have to do like 3 different teams to do a battle. So what will happen is think of it as like Summoners War. You play 4 versus 4, right, in your arena against your AI, but it's a tag team, so you have to bring in 12 different units, right, to battle, and you have to win 2 of the 3. I thought that was interesting. I don't know if Summoners War can implement something like that, but I'm just throwing the idea there so you guys know that there's a tag team that would develop potentially different team comps and builds, because you'd have to bring 3 teams now instead of just 1 in arena in the way it is, right? So tag team. Another thing that they had was boosted monster stats, right? Certain monsters had boosted stats in Guild Wars every week. They would they would announce like this unit have boosted stats. And with those boosted stats, if you want to use them, you can. And they'll have more HP or more attack or whatnot than usual, right? And the next week will be something different and something different. I think that could be interesting and something viable for Siege and Guild Wars. And it might open diversity and fun units to build just for the, for content as well, for content creators. So I thought that was interesting. And last but not least was dungeons, right? They have specific dungeons in the game where you have to have a certain unit to go inside, whether it's a 2-star or 3-star. It's usually 2 or 3 stars. Sometimes it's 4s though, right? Or certain types of units to bring in with you, like take a fire unit with you, take a water unit with you, right? Yeah, take an archer or whatnot. Yeah, and these different specific dungeon, you know, rules are kind of interesting. There could be something special that Contours does in a future dungeon, or a little bit slightly difficult dungeon. So these are all ideas that I've kind of seen them do that are very interesting, and I enjoy because they're different. Yeah, so I'm gonna throw it out there so Contours can hear about it, right? Do you guys play any other games as well that you can think of some ideas to throw in? Why? Because it's downloading Exoceros right now? I don't think so. I don't think he's playing it. I don't think it's your type of game. You don't like E7, right?
It was so free to play already. I already hear the freeness in my ears. It's so good.
But the game is more pay to win, so doesn't it appeal more to you? No, you don't have to watch at all. You literally just vote really quick. You click 2 buttons and you vote. You're like, sweet. And if you don't care either, you just say, okay, these people voted for this guy. He's got 97% win chance, like by votes.
I did just Google a video of it, and games like that to me waste mad battery.
Oh, they have battery saver.
Anytime I see a game that wastes battery, I don't want that.
That's another good suggestion for Summoner's Work. Go ahead.
Yeah, the power saving.
The power saver mode. I like that.
That doesn't actually work for Summoner's War though. And the reason it doesn't work for Summoner's War is because there's no actual like completed fully auto content that's repeatable. So the power saving mode would be a really good suggestion for a game like Epic 7, where you do 20 times repeat run, right? And then so what it does is if you click the power saving mode, here, let me show you actually. I have it on my phone. So here's what the game looks like. If I click the power saving mode, it just pulls up this screen cover and it basically turns off all your animations and it saves your battery. Yeah, and it tells you exactly what time it is and it tells you what you're doing below it as well.
Yeah.
So like
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Power saving modes in games should be better going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, Exoceros is a big download because the game is literally beautiful. Like I will say the graphics and everything are very nice. And it's from a company that's pretty well known, Line Games. So I mean, obviously it's a pretty big company.
Game has terrible, if you care about story a lot, it has terrible localization for English.
Oh, you mean the translations are bad?
Yeah, the translations are horrible.
Okay.
The story is just like, wait, what? But it's funny. It's funny. It's a good laugh.
Okay, that was a quick topic there. Anybody else? Any suggestions before we go to the next topic? It was just a quick one, just to throw some random ideas. Because I feel that, whenever other games occur or other games that I play, if I see good ideas, I always want to talk about it here so we can kind of discuss it, throw it out there, and who knows, right? Taking that idea, you might be able to extrapolate and create something even better than that, right? Or do something better like that for Summoner's War, which is a game we enjoy and we want to see improve. So, yeah.
Summoner's War needs...
What's that?
Needs that system.
What system?
The luck system where you get higher chances if you keep.
You want to talk about pities again? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I mean, that's another game, sure.
It needs the pity system, yes.
Are you sure though?
Needs a pity system.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm 100% sure, bro.
What kind of system?
It works for everybody. It works for everybody except the company.
Talk about it. Explain.
A pity system. It works for everybody besides them, right? If I spend a lot, I'll eventually get what I need. If I spend a little,
Patrick.
Right, if I spend a little, right, I'll eventually get what I need. If I spend nothing, I'll still have a higher chance of getting something. It caters to every person in the game except the company itself. That's all. A pity system, where it don't have to be guaranteed. I'm not talking about the guarantee where it's, the chance is 1 in 200, so after 200 you have to get one. I'm not talking about that. No, just increasing the percentage chance. Like you have a 2% chance of getting that 5.
So you want a soft
pity.
If
you fail after 100, make it 4% now. After 200, it's 6%. It works for everybody except the company. You know what I mean? It works for every level of player. Because if you're free to play, eventually you'll get something because your chances will go up. It's just that the more you spend, your chances go up faster. That's all. But technically, the more you spend, the more you get. So you're probably always at the 2% anyway.
We had an extensive conversation about this yesterday on stream.
But yeah.
Go ahead, talk about it. I mean, I don't mind. I mean,
we don't have to go into detail, but I think that there should be a system in this game because for a game that gets a lot of money, they can afford to give a little back, besides lawn ornaments.
I personally think that pities actually make companies a lot of money as well.
Pities are predatory, in my opinion.
Yeah, in that sense too. But like I said, when I said it's not good for the company, I mean for like the big pay-to-win guys. Because eventually I'll get everything faster, and then I'll be like, "Oh, I don't have to spend any money."
You'll have more people that are baited into spending, and pushes up the bottom end. The bottom end pushes up a little more.
Right. So the top slows down, but the bottom rises up quick. So. Look, now with that statement, it's beneficial for everybody. So why not have it?
It's a big thing to include into a game. So we have to talk about this.
Yeah, it's beneficial to everybody, I think, right? In that sense.
I'm scared.
I can debate this with you if you want.
Yeah.
I'm always ready to debate this. I think pity is bad for most games because it shortens the lifespan and it makes the middle end of the game extremely pay to win. There's nothing wrong with making the end game of the top end of a game pay to win because it's a gacha game. Everyone knows it's going to be pay to win. But the second you make the middle tier pay to even more pay to win, you separate the difference between the people who have played and are efficient with their stats and the people who spend $100 a month, and you drive them really far apart.
But here's my point. That's why I'm saying I don't think the pity system should be the guaranteed. If it slowly increases, I don't think it's going to cause that big of a deal. You know what I mean? After 600 scrolls, you have a 10% chance to get one. It's not a big deal.
So that's the difference between what people want, because what you want is called a soft pity. So soft pity increases rates. It's basically like fail stacks, right? If you are upgrading a rune, every chance you fail, it would increase the chance to upgrade it. Correct. Soft pity, I'm usually okay with to a degree. There has to be a limit to it, but the idea of a hard pity is what I generally disagree with. So hard pity would be after 500 scrolls, you're guaranteed a nap 5.
Right.
After 200 scrolls,
that's what I'm saying.
you're guaranteed a nap 5.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that either from a personal standpoint, but from a fair to the world standpoint, that soft pity is definitely a bigger is I don't think it's that game changing, but it's still nice for everybody. It's a little bonus for everybody, I think. I really don't think there's a problem with that.
What if they had soft pities for the first X amount of nat 5s? Because I care more about the early and mid game players. Honestly, I'm sorry, rather than us.
Yeah, even that's fine. Even that's fine.
But I think that they do five or
to be
fair
to your statement,
yeah,
they do a lot for them already by giving them all these free event stuff. You know what I mean? We used to see a legendary scroll, legendary scroll. Now we see legendary scrolls every month. Yeah, every month you get a couple of these.
I mean, we would get it as well, though. We would get it as well because it's our first time, so we would get 5 of those or something.
I think that Summoners Wars already added enough pity to the game that they don't really need to add more. People kind of just take for granted the pity that we already have in the game. So we have a couple things. Yeah. If you spend on the game, we have things called blessed boxes. And we have things like reappraisal stones. We also technically have, you could argue that immemorials are kind of similar. Blessings are the biggest factor, right?
Yeah.
Blessings are the soft pity of the game. Ancient crystals as a system are the pity for the game.
I don't think
it is soft.
Patrick cares about blessing because what he wants is not that. What he wants is LD blessing.
Yeah, but there's an issue with putting any pity.
But no, that's not what he wants, because you can't use an LD blessing unless you actually get an LD nat 5.
Yeah, no, but he wants LD luck. That's why it's not.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's scary because even an ounce of a soft pity towards LD literally puts the top end with so much more. Even the top high end with so many more LD nat 5s.
No pity with LDs, but LD should have a higher rate because they cost more money.
They can't. They're not going to change that, though.
See what I said?
Yeah. But the way that Contours has addressed this in the past, right, for summons, right? People summoning's hard and summoners were, right? The way they've addressed it is, like we said, pities. The pity of having blessings and the whole ancient crystal system, as well as the addition to giving us more resources, right? The amount of scrolls per year obtained free from the game has exponentially increased from year to year to year. So they're trying to give us more, right? Yeah.
That's why I don't think there needs to be a pity system for new people, though. Because even though you're saying that we all get it, new players get it and we get it, it's not as valuable to us as it is to them. So I think that it's fair enough the way it is. Correct? Maybe? Yeah. Too selfish to say? I don't know. I just think that it's not... Like legendary to us, honestly, legendary scroll means nothing to me. It used to be the dream. Now legendary scroll is okay, it's a better mystical scroll, it means nothing to me now, Back then I was I'm gonna get a nat 5. Now it's nothing.
It's kind of a little rough.
I love legendary scrolls. I think we all love legendary scrolls.
I don't know. I don't. It takes up a space in my storage.
Yeah. But we will continue to talk about these. I will make this a specific topic as well in the future to continue talking about pity with other people as well, because it's a fun topic. It tickles people's brains to talk about it and think about it, right? And we can kind of devise maybe other suggestions in the future that they can make it better. But my personal perspective is that right now, I think it's in a good spot. I don't care if you're not getting nat 5s or not, right? Because right now I feel like statistics-wise and probability-wise, it's in a good spot, even for blessings. LDs is another story. That's something I don't know. I'm not in that realm, so I feel I'm biased to make
There's a guy in chat that made a comment that said, After like 200 mysticals and you don't get an at 5, they give you a legendary scroll.
Why do you need that if CompTours just says, you know what, since you're not getting at 5s, why don't we just give you more scrolls? So this year they decided to, as a free-to-play player, you could collect 2,000 scrolls for free. I mean, it's what do you want, right? You want that guaranteed every time because that helps out the people that spend money, right? Or do you want the one where CompTours is like, you know what, it's because you guys are having trouble getting at 5s, we're going to give you more scrolls. It's not guaranteed.
I think Varian just said best. He said they call it pity. Because it's a pity we shortened the lifespan of the game. That's literally my argument every time we bring up pity. Pity shortens the game lifespan.
I agree.
No matter what. Even soft pity. Because soft pity does two things. One, it shortens the game. It shortens the life by a little bit. But it also frustrates people because it's the same concept as like 12%, right? You're like, okay, I know that guy has a lower chance to proc. Why is he still procking? That's like, I know I have a higher chance to pull a nat 5. Why haven't I still pulled a nat 5?
It's just mentally, it's mentally more satisfying.
Bullshit that drives you up the fucking wall, dude. It's the same shit.
I agree. And, you know, I don't get violent proc, so I know what you're talking about. But mentally, it makes you feel a little better, dude.
Does it?
Like, you know, like,
I feel like it mentally makes me more angry, right?
It makes you more
angry.
Guaranteed. Listen, it guaranteed makes you more angry at the end of the day. But when it's announced and it first happens, like mentally you're more satisfied, you know. But then you get angry anyway.
It's almost like what is that example? Somebody gave an example. There's like a saying, like a saying, something about like somebody getting the money now and then somebody getting a little bit of money every day and it doubling for a long time. I feel like, even though a lot of us are kind of smart and we would probably take the one that doubles every day because it yields to more money in the long run, right? A lot of players, a lot of people's mentality is, I just want it now. I want instant satisfaction now. So I want pities because I care about it now. I don't care about the longevity of the game. I just want things now, right? So
listen, everybody summons to want things now. Nobody summons to hope to get it next week.
Yeah.
You summon today because you want to get an Nat 5 today.
I summon because I want
today to prepare for a Nat 5 tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like you summon because you want it today. Like you don't do 6,000 scrolls and go, this is all in preparation for the Savannah tomorrow.
I think it's hard to apply that specific example to what Brian's saying, because what Brian's saying is like you actually get something and the other side you don't, right? Like you have a guaranteed benefit or not, right? It's like it's the concept of as well with like the lottery, right? If you take the lottery now, you take the lump sum, you get taxed a shit ton.
Yeah.
If you take it over 40 years, you get way more money, but you don't get nearly as much
tomorrow when you hit by a train.
Yeah, there's different factors that will make that example.
So it's like
not the same. Yeah.
But that's hard to that's hard to compare to this game in the gacha because you're just gambling, right? It's different. There's no guarantee at the end of the tunnel.
So while that's a topic, IslandGrown, if you won the lottery, lump sum or overtime?
Lump sum. Oh, overtime. Overtime.
Depends on how much.
Ken Baller. 400 million. Ken Baller.
400 million. Definitely overtime.
400 million.
Lump sum or overtime?
Would you lump sum or would you overtime?
Lump sum.
Lucky.
I'd go overtime.
Tyler.
You said 400 million?
That's a big lump.
Okay, let's do 400 million first.
400 million over 50 years is that's still like $750,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What if you die tomorrow though?
No, but that's it. So my if you want my reasoning, I take not lump sum, but I take a long term, right, over time, because it's a large enough and fair enough amount for me to live and do what I want, and for my future generation, which is what a lot of people think of, right? When you have a family, you think about your future and your kids. No, your future, your kids, actually, they will get it, right?
There's a threshold where it's not worth it to take the overtime.
Okay, Tyler, what's your answer?
100% lump sum. Because even if you tax 70% of it, over $100 million is enough to survive your life, your generation after, the one after, and the one after, without any of them ever working for anything in their life.
What about you, Thompson? Lump sum or overtime?
I think if you put a gun to my head and tell me to answer this question real quick, like right now, my first instinct is to take the money right now. Like
you just yell out yes.
The answer should always be lump sum. Because if you lump sum, you could take that money, invest it all over the place, and it'll turn into more money over those 50 years than money deflates. Money is just deflating.
Whatever, yeah.
A million today,
going to be fed.
A million today is like 100,000. It's like 10 million.
I think you're right. I think you're right, but it depends on the quantity. You told me a $400 million lottery. If you said a 5 million or a 10 million, I think I'm lump sum. Right, but you gave me 400 mil, so whatever amount that I could get as an overtime is enough for me to do investments and make a ton of money. So
really, but you can invest faster and make a ton more.
I'm actually the complete opposite of that, Brian.
Yeah, what do you think?
For a lower payment, I'm willing to take overtime because it's just a bonus benefit to my life, right?
With an additional paycheck.
Yeah, with a lump sum, let's say I won $5 million in a lottery, I'm losing half of it to taxes, probably, maybe a little bit more. $2.5 million. $2.5 million is not like it's a good amount of money, but it's not enough to like I never have to work again. Unless I want to live like a pretty frugal life. $2.5 million, even living off interest, so you'd have to grow that quite a bit, right? So I think I'd rather just take the overtime $5 million for 50 years, which is 600 installments, because that would just be it would just be a better way to live. Like you could just live your current life better.
I think it comes down to a personal, like there's a lot of factors as well that come into play. Obviously the amount, but I think a big thing is personal choice as well, like perspective and personal choice and how you live your life, right? And what you care about. Like, are you trying to make more money than that? Like, I would be happy and I would try to invest and make some money, and I think I would be happy with that. So I would take.
Because here's the thing too. Let's say it's not 400 million. Let's say it's like half of that, right?
Yeah.
So $300,000 a year is a lot of money right now. $300,000 a year, 20 years from now, is not a lot of money anymore. You know what I mean? So like for the first 10 years of it, you'd be like, oh, caking, you know what I'm saying? But after 10 years, now you're moderate. 10 years more after that, now you're behind the pace. Like 10 years after that, now you're under technically. You know what I mean? So
I'm an accountant, right? So I would want to do the math. So I have to sit there and be like, okay, how much is it? How much is it over time? And how much am I eating in tax right now? I gotta know the exact numbers.
Sorry for the off topic.
No, I love it. I love these. I love these.
I mean, I think like
from a finance background,
like, everyone's first instinct. There's no like right or wrong answer. You know,
right?
Whoa, we have to answer this question right now. Okay, I want it right now. I want it later.
Yeah. All right.
What about you? It comes down to like the way you do it, right? So there's a finance terminology that says $1 today is worth more tomorrow. Right, so that's why they say take the money now, invest it in the long run. But there are a lot of horror stories about people winning lotteries. You guys haven't heard, right? There's a lot of people that win the lottery and go bankrupt, and they regret winning the lottery, right?
I think the majority of people that win the lottery don't know how money works.
That's how they all go broke. It's the same theory.
That's so true.
People go too crazy when they see money, you know?
A lot of people that win the lottery, like, they really don't know what to do with the money. So I take it back. I am actually stupid, and I have no idea how money and investment works.
That's why my lottery ticket right now. I'm gonna win the lottery, dude. I don't know how investments work. I don't know shit. There's a trend, guys. You guys are too smart. You can't win that. You guys are too smart. You can't win the lottery. You're too smart. Too smart.
You just want steady income for the rest of your life, or you just
I want
a paycheck
for 400 mil. I would take the steady. I would take the steady, and
I'll take steady.
Yeah, I'm happy, dude. Right, it's perspective in life. Right, there's a lot of details to that, but
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, back to the discussions there. I opened it to open discussion for a second, but the last topic that I had planned for today, that if you guys want to talk about, is buffs and nerfs. Obviously, I don't know when they're gonna throw a balance patch, right?
What if buff the lottery?
What is that?
There's one coming soon, right?
Yeah, this is like a lottery right here, right? Are they
just buff the lottery. You know, we should do nerfs and buffs like a lottery system. Everyone should throw the unit they want to nerf or buff in a pool, and then Comtois should just like live roulette spin it, and then just pull a ball out and be like, all right, guys, it looks like Miho's getting a buff. Miho gets 15 base speed.
Yeah, they should totally do that.
I'm not gonna lie, that would be really fun to do for a special league. That would be a hilarious special league if they just like they threw in a whole bunch of random changes to the game into like this giant wheel. They spun it around like live on stream and then just pulled things out, and they were like, all right, guys, for this special league, Barbara now has 100% ignore defense on skill 2. And then they pull out another one. They're like, Ganny can now self-ventilate and his skill 1 strips at a 100% rate. Like, you just have this really like random dumb stuff that would just make the game fun.
Yeah, make the game like stupid. I mean, it's special league, right? I keep saying it. I hope the special league that comes out, they test some stuff and do some stupid shit, man. I'm ready.
Special league? Is it like
it's 4-star?
Is it pre-ban or what is it? Do you guys know?
Just 4-star.
Regular 4-star. 4-star.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're doing 4-star. Usually before the SWC, they always do the pre-ban one to get you ready for it.
No,
but also,
that's
if it's
right.
like 4-star or 20-star, I feel like Miho's pretty strong in that league. You know?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we're talking about buffs and nerfs. I'm pretty sure that Miho is gonna get some touches. That whatever balance patch when they do it, they're gonna get some touches. If not, I'm gonna tell you right now, if they don't touch it right at all, they're gonna be some outrage, man. They're gonna be some outrage.
I mean,
a
lot of people's account could deal with Miho's, but they're just some people's account, like, you know, a little bit cursed that just can't deal with Miho. I mean, I was watching Silent and Huaycas play on Huaycas' account yesterday, and the Hathor is just critting Miho like crazy. So is the Ganymede and Fran.
They're all at 30 crit rate, and they all just crit him like 12 times.
I mean, it was silent piloting it, and there was like Sierra, all the counters and stuff like that. But you know, Miho just went crazy, just 1v4 kind of resisted all the bombs, and yeah.
Well,
maybe not in like Guardian level, but like
yes,
I think
that's my point too. I was talking to
when it's 20-star or Special League or 4-star or under, Miho's pretty strong, you know.
Yeah, I was talking to a ComTOS employee yesterday about buffs and nerfs, and somebody mentioned to me Miho, you know what I mean, and I I told him I don't pick Miho. I have a built one built pretty well. I just don't use it because I think it's a scumbag unit. But at the same time, I was telling him because he was like, "Oh, when SWC comes around, you think it's gonna be picked a lot in the final." I said, "I don't think you're gonna see it in the tournament because a top player has better. Every top player has a Miho answer, and every top player has a better option to pick than to rely their whole tournament life on Miho getting lucky. You know what I mean? Honestly, so I don't think any Mihos picked.
The players that use Miho at like the really, really top end level, they use Miho on a really fast, like full damage set because she has 119 base speed, so she speed sinks super easily. Like there's a player who used a Nephthys Tiana Bastet Lucian Miho. And it was just crazy because his Miho was like 280 speed and it like one shot anything that I had.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think Miho's going to be used in the tournament because there's too many better options. Like if you're a top player and you're competing for SWC, like you got options. You don't have to rely on Miho, Miho's more for the guy in like so I told him Miho's frustrating for like the C3s, the G1s, the low G2s. Like that's the frustrating area for Miho because you don't have that many options to deal with Miho, and if you pick options to deal with Miho, you can't deal with the other 4 units they have on the board. Right. You know what I mean? So it's tough for them, but for top players, like for SWC, they're not going to see a lot of Mihos because who's going to risk their tournament life, rocking a Miho? You know what I mean? So I don't think you're going to see it that much in the finals. That's why I told them.
Do you think you make the same argument then if you look in hindsight about Antares last year? Considering Antares how big a part he played in SWC last year, and he's almost as RNG, or if not, he's probably more RNG from my perspective. But would you say it's similar?
I feel like Antares procs are way more impactful against more units, right? So like Antares is useful against a lot of units. Like if he cuts anybody, it's a big cut. You know what I mean? But to pray Miho not getting crit or Miho, to pray for Miho to get crit every time is literally throwing a prayer out there, But if Antares cuts anybody, it's a big deal. And Antares like really affects Hathor, who's like still meta. You know what I mean? Like Antares is the only guy that can get out of Hathor's sleep faster. So that's why I think Antares is still like it will still be used because Hathor is still a thing. And Diana is obviously a thing, but Antares like will be used because of Hathor. You know what I mean? Versus Miho being a complete prayer. Like you're literally just praying with Miho. Like when you pick Miho, you just sit there and go, "I've given up on this draft. Miho, take me to the top. Miho, carry me because I've given up. I have no chance. I surrender." That's when you pick Miho. Like Antares is a counter pick. Miho is an asshole pick.
They're two different types of like game mechanics that they counter, right? Like Miho counters the fact that 15% base crit exists, and it abuses that really, really hard because multi hits, even with low crit, you're likely to crit at least once, right?
Right.
With Antares, the mechanic that you're countering is different. The mechanic you're countering is literally violent procs, right? If Antares cuts, you can't Vio because that cut comes before the violent proc. With the two of them are kind of hard to compare in that sense because Antares turns, his cut is more impactful, but his actual like turns are not as impactful as Miho's, right? Because Miho has stun, attack bar reduction, lifesteal. Even like, okay, if on skill 1 in her built-in kit, right? But Miho taking extra turns, in my opinion, isn't as strong as like being able to deny somebody's violent proc.
Right. That's why Antares is, like I said, he's more of a good counter pick. Miho's a scumbag pick. Miho's just a prayer pick.
That's why Antares is good at
the top. Please. It's like back then when you do RT a couple seasons ago, and people will be like, last pick Fen Yang, or last pick Camilla. Like that's just I've given up. Please don't kill my Camilla before it kills you. That's all it is.
I think we talk about Miho every week. We should address like the
let's talk about some other units as well.
I agree.
We should address the monsters that like need buffs that aren't Miho or nerfs.
Here comes the Art Master comment.
I have one quick statement I want to make.
I want to talk about demons. I want to talk about like Ariel,
and gargoyles.
Sure, Art Master needs a buff, but that was an assumption on yours.
I agree. One unit that could get a mechanic that's similar to Antares. Yeah, I know you guys getting scared when I say that, right? Similar to Antares is the Water Demon. Instead of coming back with 100% attack gauge, I still really think that they should make it so he comes back and takes a turn, right? The mechanic is actually very similar to Triana, and I think that would bring more power to it on the timing of when it comes back, and it could be, more beneficial to use it. So that's something I really want to see.
I think the Water Demon is actually pretty strong. It's just that a lot of people don't use him that much, but I think he's really strong.
I think that
I face him with the right team, because what they do is they spring the Water Demon with just full damage, right? And the rest of the team is just tanky, like a Harmonia, other things.
Did you play Prestige?
Huh?
There's a G2 player called Prestige that uses Harmonia with Water Demon, and it's incredible. It's actually his answer to Diana. It works really well.
You just go full damage and then force to kill everything else first, and then
because when people bring Diana in, if they change forms, you rotate faster and faster with the Water Demon.
Right.
So I mean,
Water Demon doesn't need a buff. Am I getting that sense?
Maybe, but
I think a buff could be viable, but if you buff him too much, you're going to see him a lot at the top end. I think.
Yeah, what's wrong with another water damage?
Fire Demon could use a buff though, right?
Which one? Oh, the fire one is complete trash. But it's hard to think of a new mechanic for him, right? Because he's so bad. Like the water one is just like a little add-on to what he already does, right? Get the turn instantly instead of 100%. Because what happens a lot is when he revives, he doesn't really get a turn. It comes back 1 HP, and they're already at 100% attack range, and then they just hit you and you're dead. Yeah. So because usually let's say
but that's dangerous too though, because it comes back, it's guaranteed it's gonna pop something. That's
if it has S2, if it has S2 available, that's only gonna be available once, right?
Okay.
Because it's on cooldown.
With IslandGrown on that.
But people are saying in chat as well about Beelzebub. I think it might be something that the water one can awaken to it or something like that. I'm not sure, but because Beelzebub has the same reviving mechanic, right? So that would be kind of dangerous unless they deem that
apply to Beelzebub.
Yeah, or if that's not too strong, then sure, give it to Beelzebub. Right, but put a cooldown.
No, too strong. Don't give it a Beelzebub.
I mean, the win one sucks, but he has a purpose at least. He's there for that reason.
We'll say win one sucks in front of Ken, man. Ken is
dude, I love the win one. Win one's really so good.
I said it sucks in the sense of its skills and what it does. However, the win one has a purpose. You know what I mean? Like, it's still good because it has a purpose. It has a mechanic that's very, very impactful. Like it's very impactful purpose.
What were we gonna say, Ken? Go ahead, Ken.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
Oh, I was also gonna say they should update there's a lot of NAF5s right now that are just outdated. Like Twins came out, the Chimeras are useless, pretty much.
Yeah.
Aereo, there's a lot of healers that are better than Aereo now.
Yeah.
Bellio. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
On that force too.
Definitely should be updates too. It's very hard to create a new monster and create a new mechanic, but it's not hard to, improve on something that's already there. You know what I mean? Like, there's stuff that's obviously unusable. There's a reason why you don't see those 40 NAT5s ever. You know what I mean? Because they need help. So I think that's much easier to improve those than to make something new.
My stand with Mephisto is like he's good and all, but his first skill and his second skill doesn't really do anything.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point, right? That's my point. His skills aren't impactful. His passive is impactful. That's why I was saying that the Wind Demon needs help in that sense. That's why I think.
You didn't know? You just ruined Wind Demon 100 resist. Thor does S3. It doesn't sleep your Wind Demon. It uses S2. It wakes up your whole team. That's so OP. Not a niche. Definitely not a niche example.
85 accuracy.
and then good luck killing everybody with skill 1 fucking Hathor.
Yeah. Hathor is like the worst one because Hathor runs with full accuracy. So it's like, yeah. But yeah, the demons need a buff. Aerial, Chimeras, also the string Art Masters, they can't last forever like being this bad. Yeah, come in.
Yeah, Art Masters.
I was wrong for pointing them out. It was the wrong timing, I guess.
The Art Masters. Yeah, so let's.
I said Art Masters, bro. I said Art Masters. He's like, no Art Masters. Now what do you say? First thing he says.
The fire one's not bad though.
Even though they seem like they're not very good because people have done some testings, I would personally like to let it simmer for another balance patch because there's been a lot of units in the past that are good that took a little bit until they became
time
better,
to discover. Yeah,
the fire one is good, like Ken says. There's a couple players at like high G2 and G3 that I fought that use it alongside like they'll use like obviously Gianna being strong, but they'll use like Gianna Artmaster and then they'll pick Sierra Savannah and some other like cleave unit. It's like it's really hard to fight.
Yeah, you can just blank out the ragdoll and cleave. You can blank out the rezzers and cleave. You know, like it's
he sets up really well because he has the skill 2. I think the skill 2 is by far what makes him good.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if he doesn't have the seal, his strength like diminishes by. It's probably 70% of his kit or more.
So he goes well. He goes well with Ganny then. He goes really well with Ganny then because you're gonna get more chances and opportunities to seal because seal is such a strong mechanic.
Are we talking about nerfing Ganny Hathor?
No, we're talking about Art Masters and how the
talking
fire
about
one
fire
is
Art Master being good and the other one's being kind of shit.
I have a stand about nerfing Ganny Hathor though. I don't know because like if you do nerf Ganny Hathor, it's really hard to deal with like Ragdoll and a lot of other comps that's really OP, you know, Artemil, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that stands.
Are we slowly getting to the stance where we're like, Ganny Hathor is okay? Are we?
I don't know. Yeah.
Are we so used to it now that it's okay? Like
I think a part of it being okay is that everybody's runes are just getting so much faster. That like Ganny Hathor, the sleep just doesn't last as long. You know what I mean? Like it's not as like back then, if you get Hathor slept, it was like, okay, I'll just do nothing for 10 minutes, you know? Now you get a turn pretty quick if you look at it. Like, it actually doesn't last as long as you think.
It's also like the monsters. People have like access to, Velajewel, Josephine, and you play against that more. Yeah, I have to pick up a UPS package. Be right back.
I played on 3 different levels lately. I played a Conqueror 1 account. I played my account, which is C3G1, and I played a G2 account, and I used Ganny Hathor on all 3 of them. And I've noticed that in the conch level, it just destroys everybody. There's literally no chance that anyone in that rank has the rune quality to compete with something as strong as Ganny Hathor. In my rank, people can draft better against it, and in high rank, it also depends on what those people have, because if they don't have one of those like 3 key counters, it becomes really, really hard. So like Ganny Hathor, for example, if you only own one of those and the other person first picks the one that you have, you are at such a heavy disadvantage, right? And the strength of Ganny Hathor comes from 2 things. Ventilate has no counterplay and is a very short cooldown. Because it's 3 turns, you violent proc once, so you have it, and because of the denial and attack bar, you basically get it again for free by the time they move again. And with Hathor, it's the fact that Hathor skill 2 can always set up your Ganny or set up herself if she violent procs. So the issue for me between those 2 things is either Ganny skill 2 needs to be adjusted, they need to add a cooldown, or they need to make it resettable, or Hathor skill 2 has to take away the strip and give her something else instead of it, like attack bar reduction and sleep. That's personally what I think. I'm not saying like that's the only way. I just think that those are the specific mechanics that make it really, really overpowered. Because the old Ganny, for example, used to be what destroyed people, right? The unfair mechanic of skill 1 strip. If no one else, if you couldn't reset someone, you skill 1 strip, you get a violent proc, that person's screwed, right?
Absolutely. The thing with Ganny and Hathor now is, like I said, with everybody getting faster, like your Ganny has to proc at least once. If your Ganny procs once, it's endless. If your Ganny doesn't proc that one time, that sleep is no longer endless. The first 2 are endless. The third one is not guaranteed anymore if Ganny doesn't proc at least once.
Theoretically, though, you have so much pressure after 3. You have so much pressure because that's 4 turns.
Oh, absolutely, but that's only unless like somebody picked the counter too, like a Juno or a Josephine, where they're pressuring you back too. You know what I mean? Like a Keys, Josephine, a Key stun from Juno. Things like that. Extends the process and shortens the
tempo.
The power of the fuck. I can't think of the word. The power of the sleeping. You know.
Yeah, I mean that the sleep is endless. Once you allow it, it's literally endless because of Ganny S3 and the attack bar reduction and any potential procs on Hathor or Ganny. Even Hathor getting the proc to control one more turn with S2.
Yeah, of course.
Once it starts, it's literally it literally comes down to if your opponent is going to misplay and like fuck up on like
I played one game. I think against the Hathor, bro. It was Ganny Hathor. The Hathor proc every turn. and before my Josephine woke up from the original sleep, he got 2 turns slept again without the Ganny resetting.
Yep.
Like that's how many times the Hathor proc. Like it was insane. But yeah, like procs is a big deal for that comp too.
Something I haven't really understood with Summoner's War, and it's always been around, is why the skill that can reset cooldowns, why can't that be reset?
Yeah,
they should have changed the caveat for it. Like the caveat is
a long time ago.
I think it should be resettable. I agree with that 100%.
Or they should add some more turns to it. I think 3 turns is a little bit.
I think what would nerf Ganny Hathor 2? What might nerf Ganny Hathor 2 is making that proccable in between the 2 turn sleep.
No, that would no. I don't know about that. But I think changing it so you can reset is not a bad step. Like Lucky said,
but the reset that's the great nerf. Yeah, that's the great nerf. Like Tyler brought out and Lucky commented on now. That's the great nerf. Yeah.
Right, because when you reset a Ganny now, like if you're Okiing turn 1 and you reset a Ganny, you're not just resetting for value on S3. You're resetting for value on that S2. Right, when you're resetting other units, you're not worried about Ganny having that S2 to ventilate that unit as well. Right, so it's pretty big. It's pretty big, but that would gut Ganny for the 3rd time once again. And I like
that doesn't
Ganny,
matter though. That perspective is like really manipulative, and I don't think it's fair to the argument. Like you can't just be like we're nerfing Ganny for the 3rd time. Ganny literally still has the best skill in the game.
But the thing is, like with Ganny, I think Ganny like allows and accentuates other units very well. So I like the unit itself. Like it's a good like foundation unit. I feel like it's strong, but I think it enables a lot of things. Not just Ganny Hathor, but I like the unit itself. You know, I like the versatility that you can do with Ganny. So I like the unit. Like even though I have him and obviously I enjoy using him, I think he's very cool. He's a very good unit. So I'm against trying to nerf him further anymore.
For everyone's argument on like, oh yeah, keep nerfing Oberon. It's like, I mean, they did the same thing with Bolong Tianlang. They can just change the caveat, right? Oberon has a useless awakening, so why don't they just revamp it?
What are you talking about? Resistance? I can't tell you how many times they have resisted me, my friend. Yeah, that resistance OP.
Like, I think that's not necessarily a good argument anymore because they have shown, like Com2uS has shown that they are willing to make that like exception to units by changing their awakening, right? They changed it with Tianlang, so like, why can't they change it with Oberon? Maybe you'll even be happier with the way Oberon gets changed. Maybe they'll give him something better than what he has right now. Welcome back.
We're talking about Covenant?
Oh, I just got a speed violent grind. Plug.
Nice.
Are we talking about Covenant here?
Yeah,
no,
we are.
What do you have to say about it? Talking about Oberon and Ganny, and I'm saying that Ganny is still the best unit in the game because skill 2 is no counterplay.
He's great.
Ganny's the best unit in the game?
I think so.
I still think Ganny's one of the best units in the game.
I think ventilate is the strongest skill in the game, I think.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of LD Nat 5s, and there's Hathor.
I think Hathor's close. I think Hathor's like 3rd. I think Gianna skill 3 is better than Hathor skill 3.
I have a funny side story. My friend, Josuan, we used to be top level RTA player, like top couple hundred. Keith, yeah. Back in the first couple seasons when he was playing, he was very, very hesitant of Ganny. He always told me Ganny sucks, Ganny's this, Ganny's that. And over the years, I've always told him the same thing. Right? I always use that example going like, whenever he tells me something like, are you sure? Because Ganny's actually OP every single time, man. It's funny how many times he got nerfed. But yeah, that story didn't end up as exciting as I thought. But let's keep going. But yeah, if you want to talk about Art Masters, Thompson, I know you itching to talk about those. Feel free to bring them up. We can talk a little bit about those.
I think there's a unit better than Ganny right now, Tyler.
What is it?
What's that?
Ileana.
Oh, that's pretty close. It's pretty close.
Ileana
for me is as frustrating as fighting in Hong.
There's a lot of units better than Ganny, if that's the conversation we're
gonna have. I came on to the podcast
and there's two black units that Ken Baller has that's better than Ganny.
Oh yeah, Peter.
There's 2 white units that Thompson has that's better than Ganny.
Ganny has
there's a lot of different.
Ganny has a really good kit, right? Like we agree Ganny has a really good kit.
Very good kit, but there's definitely better units.
Ganny also has insane base stats and probably the best awakening.
Yeah, he's so fast, dude.
Right? Like 113 base speed and insane HP defense and a huge multiplier.
But how about something like Ragdoll doesn't need any base speed and it's still
I actually think Ganny's better than Ragdoll. I think people overrate Ragdoll.
You are out of your whacker. Listen, Ragdoll. Listen, Ragdoll doesn't even need good runes, bro. He needs no speed. He needs like no good runes. The best part about Ragdoll, the rest of your team don't even need that good of runes. That's how good Ragdoll is. You know what I'm saying? You see, Ganny needs good runes, doesn't need good runes, but your team does. Ragdoll makes your whole team not have to be that good, and you're still mad good.
I agree. I mean, I still remember the first time I ever played on a Guardian level Ragdoll account. My mind was blown. I was like, this is so easy. This is so much fun, dude. It was ridiculous, bro.
And then you look at the guys and they're shit compared to yours, but he's 2,000 ranks better than you.
Do you think that Ragdoll's better than Jaeger?
Do I think Ragdoll's better than Jaeger? I would
I'll help you answer that question. Ragdoll is
yes.
better than Jaeger because I think Masha and Ragdoll is pretty awesome together. You
see, Jaeger, right? Again, Jaeger needs good runes. Ragdoll and Jaeger together makes Jaeger not need that good runes again. It's fucking crazy, bro. Yeah, Ragdoll makes you not need runes. Ragdoll makes you not need speed. And then we're talking about another one, Pater, right? Pater's definitely better than Ganny because Pater makes Hathor not even in a unit. When you have a Pater, there's no such thing as Hathor. Listen, you get horny when somebody picks Hathor if you have a Pater in your pocket. You get horny, bro.
I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm Ken Ball is a manager, and I'm gonna let you know that he feels attacked right now.
No, yeah, Ken Ball. He knows part of the script, honestly.
This is part of the script.
This is part of the script.
Ken Ball is my boy, bro. But I'm telling you right now, those two units are very strong, dude. Very strong.
Keep in mind when I say like something's better than the other, I'm not saying like this unit's shit, this unit's a god. I'm like they're like really close still.
Yeah.
I do really think that they're all like really close. So like
I think Ragdoll's very boring to play with. I'll give you that. It's the most boring unit to play with. Okay, but it is the primo. You know what I'm saying? It is the one.
Still good.
When people, here's the question that everyone's asked. Everyone always asks, what do you think are the best 3 or 5 LDNF5s? Right? Ragdoll doesn't make my list anymore.
What?
My 3 best LDNF5s are always going to be Hong, Gianna, and now I think it's Pater or Jaeger.
Oh, okay, but it makes it to your top 5, right? You said 3 or 5.
Ragdoll,
without a doubt,
very close to the 5th.
Ragdoll's the only unit, and a little bit Jaeger, but Ragdoll's the only unit you could say, I'm going turn 2, and I'm the favorite. Every other comp you go turn 2, you're not the favorite. If you have Ragdoll, you're for sure going turn 2, and you're still for sure the favorite. How sick is that?
Yeah, but how you know what's good or not, Tyler? You don't have any LD.5s. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how can you tell me about the bag of chips if you never had chips before? You know what I'm saying?
You
knew it was coming
for like 8 seasons without an LD.5.
You knew it was coming.
I think I did okay for myself. You know,
I'm trolling.
I think I did pretty all right for myself.
Yeah, people ask me too, like what's the most wanted LD.5? I tell them it's not Ragdoll because I think the gameplay of Ragdoll is boring. But if it was for like a mechanic standpoint and like the best to improve my account standpoint, it's still Ragdoll. I'd rather have a Gianna, okay, but Ragdoll would make the biggest change on anybody's account. Ragdoll changes everybody's account. Everybody's instantly 20 speed faster on all their runes once you have a Ragdoll.
And this is coming from a Ragdoll user, someone that just pulled Ragdoll. Look at you notice Ken Baller nodding his head in approval.
Yeah, Ken Baller's like,
yeah. Right. Because the first season I didn't have Pater or Ragdoll. I got ranked 300. That was the closest I got. And then once I pulled Pater, top 50, Ragdoll, top 15, top 10,
yeah.
The thing is, you have both though, right? Like the Pater is the hard counter to the meta stuff. Like the Pater is the hard counter to the Thor, which makes him stronger, right? But the fact that you have both on top of that, it's like no one's denying that Ragdoll's good. No one's denying that Ragdoll's not incredible. But like Pater is the reason that you got the bigger jump. Like if you got the Ragdoll instead of the Pater, the jump would have been there, but it wouldn't have been as big.
Don't worry, I give you still credit, Ken. You have great runes and you're a smart player as well. That has to be credited as well with the units. No, I agree.
There's no question. I don't question that at all. I never question Ken Baller's skill level.
Yeah.
But those units enhanced his account so much. Like he got an extra 2 speed rolls on every rune after he got Ragdoll. How crazy!
Yeah, and then he also got a whole bunch of like
and his whole team. His whole team got 100 resist after he got Pater. Is that sick? His whole team is guaranteed 100 resist after he got Pater. How nuts is that? Think what's happening here. Those 2 units give you that kind of power. Ganny's very strong. I hate fighting against Ganny, but that kind of power is something no unit can give besides those 2. Yeah. You guarantee extra 20 speed on all your units with Ragdoll, and then you guarantee 100 resist on everything on your team, and you never have to be scared of Hathor. Who's not scared of Hathor? A Pater user.
Maybe let me rephrase the way that I think the strength sits. The way that I think that the strength sits in like a unit is a big factor of its versatility. Ganny can be picked with literally any unit in the game.
So good Ragdoll.
That's why I think he's so good. But Ragdoll doesn't shine with every unit in the game, right?
He makes the rest of
Ganny shines with more units, in my opinion, than Ragdoll does. Because for Ragdoll, you have to protect it, right? Ganny protects other units for you and protects himself in most cases.
Right.
You can't reset him.
Tyler,
Here's this for a second though.
Is ask Ken Baller, does he first pick Ragdoll more or does he first pick Ganny?
I don't think that evidence you can use that to argue that like that's better because he picks the Ragdoll because somebody else might pick the Ragdoll.
Sure. Forget that argument, right? Let me give you a real good argument here, okay? 120 speed on your whole team is achievable by anybody, right? With Ganny, you need like 170, 180, 190. With Ragdoll, your whole team can be 120, and it's better than all those 180 sets combined. How sick is that? Think about that. You don't need any fast rune. What's the hardest thing to get in this game besides LD and F5s? Fast rune.
You're both not
right?
false.
Bro, Ragdoll makes you not need nothing. Hi, baby. What's the matter?
So cute.
Oh my god. Hey, look, guys. If you're wondering where Wycons's Ragdoll is, there it is. There it is. There's his Ragdoll. Woo! I think you're the big winner there.
Cute. So cute.
Thank you. What happened? Okay,
Tyler, the more you talk down about a unit that is that you think is not very good, it's not a higher chance of getting it. Okay, so relax. All right, relax.
I don't want to. I want to Yin-Hong, dude.
Yeah, sure. Look, he's still holding on with the act there. Look at him.
Yin-Hong is way more fun than Ragdoll. I'll give you that. It is not better. It is not even close to better. I have to tell you that straight up.
The grass is always greener.
The grass
is always greener.
Right now, like,
the grass is always greener.
I love Yin-Hong. I do, and I agree. It's probably one of my favorite units to play with. You know what I'm saying? I played on a lot of people's accounts. I played a lot of LD and F5s. Yin-Hong is definitely one of the most fun ones, without a doubt, because it's an enabler. You know what I mean? But like Ragdoll just solves problems. You know what I mean? Like he solves a lot of problems.
Patrick's not just saying that arbitrarily because his alt account has Ragdoll Masha, and
I'll be honest. Right? I'll be honest. Me and Ken Baller's runes, they're probably close. His might be a little better, but he's thousands of ranks better with the Ragdoll, and I have a Yin-Hong, right? Like maybe he's a better player than me. Fine, you can say that too, but like there's a reason Ragdoll is the dream. Like Ragdoll.
Let's get some information from Ken Baller. Go ahead and talk about your Ragdoll pattern.
Ken also has really fast runes.
Yeah.
I
think well for me it's a little better because I do have those fast runes like Tyler said. So even if I take first or second turn, after the first turn of let's say Gianna, the whole team goes next anyway. So that kind of helps a lot, but I don't know. I feel like when Ragdoll gets a turn off, that's way more fun than Yin-Hong, in my opinion. You know? So
interesting.
I'll tell you what's not fun about Yin-Hong. When you skill 2 with Yin-Hong, you don't strip. That's really not fun.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why that happens so much.
Very often.
Yeah, like
the strip chance is not that high, and nobody builds accuracy on it.
What is the strip chance anyways? Isn't it like Lauren?
It's 3.
It's 3 chances of 30, right?
Yeah, is it Lauren like the same thing, or Lauren like 45, or what is Lauren?
I don't know. The only Yin-Hong I get to play with is why? Because I'm a G's Yin-Hong. So yeah.
Yeah. Because I think that move is actually really powerful for Yin-Hong. Everybody talks about the S3, but I think the S2 is so powerful. Yeah, having it as a stripper.
When it works,
50% per turn.
And the scaling, it hits. It hurts. It actually hurts.
Well, and it boosts attack bar too.
Yeah, if you strip.
Yeah.
Right?
This one?
30% chance is the same as Bolong. Oh, no wonder it's shit.
By the way,
Wait.
Sorry to change subjects, but
Sure.
Joe Gunn and like Laura, they all need like boost attack bar after strip, or like
Joe Gunn the fire one?
Bar.
Yeah, Joe Gunn the fire one.
So Yin-Hong skill 2 is 50% chance times 3.
Oh, okay, so that's better than Wolong. Okay, but a little bit worse than Lauren. And Lauren, I feel like sometimes I use Lauren. I'm missing that strip. So depending on how often you're using it, I can see it. I can see the feel of it. Yeah. True.
Yeah,
and a lot of times
you build in higher accuracy too, though.
Oh, true. And the thing is that also when you're using Yin-Hong, those moments that you need to S2 that you miss are pretty crucial. Like they end up being very, very crucial moments and crucial strips for you to set up and for whatever you're trying to do. So it can be impactful. Definitely.
Is it fair to say that most people don't build their Yin-Hong for the strip? They build her for damage.
Yeah, but you do, but you don't. Yeah.
What? But that strip is very powerful, right? Dude.
And you want her to strip.
Yeah, the big issue with Yin-Hong is that Yin-Hong is very stat demanding. She needs literally every stat in the game. And that makes you have to sacrifice some accuracy. That's part of why it doesn't strip that effectively. Like you're never gonna see a Yin-Hong with like high accuracy, you know? That's all.
Okay.
She's only 15
more.
Yeah. Okay. Any last words? I was about to say. Go ahead, Ken.
One more suggestion. I think the Beast Riders are alright, but I still feel like when they dismount, they should keep their debuffs. Because there's times when they have a defense break and a glance. Let's say they have a defense break and a glance, and they're 1 HP, but they're full attack bar, so you don't really want to kill them.
You don't want to hit them, but then you don't. And
you don't want to hit them.
Fuck you, yeah.
Yeah, you don't kill them. Yeah. So.
Yeah,
I think they should keep it.
Don't kill it. I kind of agree with them.
2 weeks ago, I would agree with Ken Baller, but Narsha cannot afford that. Please do not do that.
Dude, bro, Thompson, you just have to chalk it up.
Thompson just said it, so your dream is over, Ken Baller.
No. If
Thompson already said it's not allowed to happen.
You have to chalk it up that if other units of Beast Riders need a nerf, let them get nerfed, and then Narsha gets a kit remake to make her stronger. That's what you got to chalk it up to. That's what's gonna happen.
Ken, can I ask you a question?
Right.
And I'm not coming at you when I ask this. I want to know because I want to know if you think it's still true in this situation. If you didn't use Ragdoll or Pater, do you still think Beast Riders would be okay? Or do you think they would be like overly impactful or like fair?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Because they're still getting hot there, right? So, but.
And Ganniathor still works against them, but it's like the same fear as like Ganny.
And there's still a lot of counters to the Beast Riders.
So. Do you have the Beast Riders, Ken?
I only have Spanner.
Okay.
Interesting. I have all 3 Beast Riders, and I use them a lot, so I fight a lot of Leos.
Are you running a lot of Vanessa Masha with like Lauren Yunhong?
Vanessa Masha with Lauren Yunhong? No, none of that. Are
you running triple Beast Riders?
A lot of that.
Triple Beast Riders, Vanessa Yunhong?
No, triple Beast Rider like Yunhong and like Chiwu or something like that.
Jesus.
Gross.
It doesn't work that good because they just pick Leo and they fuck you up. But yeah.
Oh, speaking of Leo is like I've been having a lot of fun building Leo counters now. I don't know if you guys have done that.
Yeah,
I built a Trevor.
Thompson's built everything red already to fight Leo. Thompson has 20 different red units to counter Leo.
Whoa, that's hardcore.
Thanks for the kiss.
No, but Tyler's talking about specific counters to Leo, as in like
when people pick Leo, you pick a 0-speed unit.
Zero-speed unit. Yeah, like actually 0 speed.
Thompson has 20 0-speed units to deal with Leo. That's what I'm talking about too.
Oh, he's ready.
That's scary.
I mean that. Yeah, I have a couple.
That's crazy.
You know.
I built Feng and Trevor and
Art Masters. Oh, because I was gone while you guys were talking about Art Masters.
We didn't really talk about them too much.
All we did was say
I'll recap it for you really quick.
That's it.
Okay, recap it for you. The fire one is good because the skill 2 is good. That's it.
The fire one skill 2 can miss. I played I played how to play like twice and he used Jogun on me and the skill 2 resisted and I won. It's just like whoa. Like that's it.
Yeah, I think that it's
but
not.
If it doesn't miss,
if he resisted, it's not impactful enough because the rest of his kit is not strong enough. Like he can't afford that resist. You know what I mean? Like if you resist Pathway skill 2, it's not that terrible. Like he still has skill 3 for later. Like you resist that guy's skill 2, he is useless.
Done.
Yeah,
completely
it does nothing.
Useless.
It literally does nothing, right?
Does nothing. Yeah. So I agree. If it's resistible, it's tough.
Have you guys seen any of the LD ones? At all?
That dark one's definitely good.
The dark one, but it wasn't that scary.
The light one's definitely a piece of shit.
What if they made it so? Wait, would this make Jogun a lot stronger though? I mean, I know we saw it right now, but you were saying if he misses, what if they changed his skill so that if he misses, it doesn't go on cooldown?
I have an idea. Jogun doesn't need that. His second skill needs to be like 3-turn cooldown. You know, not 4-turn. That's too much.
Oh, so you just want cooldown reduction? Because I was just saying that if you miss, you get to go.
That's a great idea too.
Right.
But even if it doesn't miss, it should be 3-turn cooldown. Like just 4 turns after you heal someone is crazy. Because the third skill is 4 turns as well. The third skill needs a attack bar pushback or attack bar boost.
But that makes it way better than.
What about?
That makes it decent. It doesn't have speed lead.
What about on the second skill? What about instead of making it 3-turn cooldown, they kept it at 4, but they pushed back attack bar before it tried to seal? What about if it pushed back attack bar and tried to seal?
Yeah, I like
then it
that.
messes up turn order.
Crazy. That's
not full attack bar, but maybe like half attack bar. Because like
only a little bit of comment. Only a little bit of comment. Only little bit of comment I have to make for Thompson too is that I think his opinion on Art Masters is a little bit skewed because he has the best strippers in the game already.
Okay,
and for a lot of guys that don't have strippers, like that might be a good option for them. I'm not saying they're good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not advocating for them. I think they're terrible. I agree with Thompson. You know,
I was using Joe Gun 2.0 before Joe Gun even came out. I was using Laura, the defensive.
and I'll be honest. And I'll be honest. Like one of the reasons why I'm telling you Art Masters is not good is because I've seen Thompson and I've seen the runes he's put on it. And if those runes can't make you good, you're bad. You know what I'm saying? Like those runes could save. You could raise people from the dead. You know what I mean? Like they're still bad with those runes. Like they're not good units.
I got
you know
it.
What I mean?
Why don't they buff it so that when you seal with the scroll, it seals them, and then after that, when the seal goes away, it summons a scroll, and they have a shit 3-star now on their side, right? just like that's like the actual mechanic of some of those, right? So I mean, like
but what happens if it's not a shit 3-star and it comes out like there's a barber on the end?
Hey, luck of the draw, baby! Luck of the draw, you know, luck of the draw. Right?
Suddenly they have 2 barbers on their team.
All of a sudden it's a ragdoll. All of a sudden all his bars are pushed ahead and you
just water mammoth. Like, oh fuck.
It transforms into a Hathor with full skills, and suddenly you just
no, he's got 2 Hathors on that side. You're like, fuck, doesn't even need.
He's got 2 Gannies that can ventilate each other.
Joe Gun is not the only one that needs addressing. Hey Gang is really bad. Also, Chung Peng, Ken Baller. Me and Ken Baller tried Chung Peng. Ooh, it seems like in any situation, Zyros is just better.
Yeah, Wade said that as well. Yeah.
Or Ganymede or whatever, Hathor. Yeah.
The only benefit you would get from the win one is the attack bar reduction, which you wouldn't get on Zyros. But the damage and the reset is better, I feel, on the Zyros.
Right? But the reset is like a better mechanic than than like a bar push. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like who cares if you get auto attacked? You care if you get skill 3 though. You know what I mean?
What if they made a unit? What if they made a unit that allowed attack bar push pass into the negatives, so that you'd actually have to naturally get those turns back. Right, so it would go even further than 0. I'm just saying. I mean, just throwing a random mechanic out there. That would be tough.
Waves, hello.
I mean, Ganny only goes to 0, right? But maybe there's something that threshold is like.
Yeah, Hathor pushes 100%. So Ganny Hathor, you ventilate some units at like minus 170% attack bar.
No, I'm not saying Ganny Hathor. I'm just saying other units. Other units, like they could make a new
one. What about Lauren? Lauren would just indefinitely lap certain units forever. They would never ever get a turn, no matter what. They wouldn't even be able to get to violent proc.
Yeah, Lauren would make me never
move.
They'd
just be a negative 1,000.
All right, change my mind. I don't like this mechanic.
Yeah, okay, that's way crazy, bro.
All right, guys. Very solid podcast today. Very, very solid podcast today. If you guys are watching on YouTube, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I love the conversations and some of the topics we have here. We're going to bring these back, especially the pity and stuff like that, to discuss more. Hopefully you continue to enjoy the game. If you guys didn't hear, we're going to be having that Legend Tournament stream on Friday. Come on by, or you can check out the video that I'll post of it on YouTube the day after. But check out their links. Everybody here does stream, so everybody streams at different times. Come check them out. Ask them some questions. Yeah, ask them about their luck. Ask them about their LDNat 5s. And yeah. But as always, leave those comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the next live stream or podcast. Peace out, everybody.
Take care, guys. Stay safe, everybody.
What time's the tournament on Friday?
I was going to start at 1 a.m. EST, like 10 p.m. 10 p.m. PST.